Hello and welcome back to the Xpwaste podcast, where I am not Birdfags from the Gothic Stress podcast. I'm Michael.
And I'm actually Sparry from the Gothic Stress podcast, funny enough. So mixing things up a little this week. We're giving you guys your Gothic Stress fix for here on out. We love them. If you're new around here, my name is actually Oxie. I'm the co-host of this here show, the Xpwaste podcast, and we talk almost exclusively about old school RuneScape on this show. We say almost exclusively because Michael and I are hella tangential. Michael learned like 10 minutes ago that I almost certainly have undiagnosed adult ADHD. And I just thought he knew that for like 2 years. I thought he was just like, yeah, no, that tracks with everything Oxie does. That, you know, I'm not going to get into the specifics because it's going to sound like half TikTok banter, half therapy jargon, but that's not the point. We get easily distracted, and we're here to talk about RuneScape. So you're going to hear a lot of RuneScape. Even if the tangents are RuneScape related, you are in the right place if you're here for old school RuneScape. If you're not new around here, in the last week, don't think I've had my motivation killed harder. Probably since I died at Zuck, like the third or fourth time. It's been a crusty week for old school gains. But we're here and we're chilling. Michael, my friend, how have you been?
I've been decent. Before we get into, how we are, I want to say it's almost July, which means if you're listening to this on the day of release or like the first couple days, you still have time to use code PRIDE on the Xpwaste.shop and get your merch 15% off. Anything that you buy within the month of June will be all of the proceeds from that will go to support a LGBTQ plus charity. So any money that we make during the month of June is going to get donated. So if you haven't picked up any merch yet, use code PRIDE. July 1st is when that ends. I don't remember how many days are in June.
I'm going to say, I think June's a 30-day one. I'm going to say the name of the charity because I'm fairly certain Old School has said it on their Twitter. And if not, Hannah has said it in one of her videos because it's the same one that they're doing with all their Pride merch and shit. It's the same charity that they're donating to. We're just donating all the proceeds. It's all, oh my God, their Twitter page, it's all Dead Man All-Stars. All DMM All-Stars. Did you watch that at all?
No, yeah. I did not. Not super interested in Dead Man.
Okay, I think I found it. The charity Jagex is partnering with is called AKT Charity. It's the National LGBTQ Youth Homelessness Charity, which I imagine is somewhere in England. AKT is a national charity that specializes in working with LGBTQ plus young people who are homeless, at risk of homelessness, or living in hostile environments. So TLDR out there, if you guys aren't aware, if you don't have any friends in the queer community, sometimes young people with parents can be real shitty about their kids coming out sometimes. And that means that either A, you get like, domestic cases where the kid's just not treated very well because, they're not straight or they're transitioned or whatever it is, or they just get kicked out entirely. Just like, you're not my kid anymore, not in this house. Go sleep under an overpass. If you think I'm kidding because of my lighthearted tone, I promise you I am not. So that's what this charity supports to stop that and get those kids off the street and get them out of those not fantastic homes and environments. So that's what we're going to be donating to. We'll link them in the description of this episode too, because now we finally actually went out of our way to like find the link. We just didn't know the name. We're like, yeah, it's going to be the one that Jagex and Hannah are doing. That's exactly it. If Hannah's doing it, it's cool. We're doing that one. So that's where we ended up. AKT Charity. We'll link it down below. So either donate to that directly or buy some sick ass Xpwaste merch, and proceeds will go to that too.
I will say the code works on any of the merch, not just the Pride merch. So if you are looking to grab some like sheep merch, or there's like designs that we have not sold a single one, like a single shirt or hoodie from. So you could be the first person to buy the hello and welcome back with the knight and the horse. If you wanted to, you could. So use code PRIDE. I'm doing 7 out of 10, probably. It's very hot in Texas. And the only thing that has made that better is the fact that we have a pool, but you still have to be outside to be in the pool. And there's been a few times that I've gone swimming where it's felt like a hot tub, but like,
gross.
Yeah. So we are in the process of like putting up a shade that is going to go over the pool, but we didn't do our research and bought the wrong like planters. And so now we have to like redo everything, but it involves being outside. And so it's probably going to get done tonight whenever the sun goes down and it cools off like 10 degrees because it's just so hot. And it's only like June. We have at least 3 more months of this in Texas, and I'm not looking forward to it. But other than that, RuneScape gains have been okay. I was doing some shooting stars the other day. I forgot how much I love shooting stars. It's probably one of the best mining methods in the game. It just kind of sucks that I don't need the stardust. Like I need the bone shards more than anything. And so I'm more incentivized to do the calcified rocks mining than I am to do shooting stars. But I love shooting stars. Like just the ability to not touch your screen for 7 entire minutes. I was like doing stuff on my computer, and on a Mac, you can have different desktops. I mean, you can have it on a PC too, but I've just never done it. But essentially, you have different desktops and you can swipe through them. And on one desktop screen, I had RuneScape, and on the other one, I had whatever I was working on. And I would just swipe away from the RuneScape client, and then I would wait for the little notification to pop up and say, "You stopped mining," and then I would swipe back, click the star, swipe away. I felt like I wasn't doing anything, but I got like at least 100,000 mining XP that day, which was amazing. So I did a bit of that and did a bit of Zulrah. And on Friday, we had our Patreon stream, and I died in the Corrupted Gauntlet like 10 times.
We're close, though.
We're so close.
We got it to the final third.
Half.
We're so close. Yeah. So close. We had 4 tornadoes out. We're close.
If I dedicate it like it just a little bit more time, I think I can do it. And I know I can do it. And it's not I think. I know I can do it. It's just out of all the content in this game, it's probably one of the most challenging for me in my account right now because I don't have like the Chambers prayers. I don't have Rigor or Augury.
No, Chambers prayer sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
My range level is kind of low, so I'm only 85 range. My magic level is high; it's 93. So I've got pretty decent DPS, but I think I could do with some range levels and potentially some more defense. So, and also just like learning Corrupted Gauntlet prep versus like regular Gauntlet. In the regular Gauntlet, you can faff about. You can do what you want. You have 10 entire minutes to get all of the things you need. And you may think that like 2.5 minutes is not that big of a difference, but like 7.5 minutes versus 10 minutes, it really does make a huge difference. In like, you can't faff about. And like, there's things that you have to do way differently in the Corrupted Gauntlet than you do in regular Gauntlet. And so I've only ever really done regular Gauntlet. The attempts that I did at the Corrupted on Friday night during our stream was the most consecutive attempts I've ever done. Before that, it was like two Corrupted attempts, and one of the ones I got fully prepped, and I didn't have any cooked food, so I just went in with a full inventory of raw food. And then the second attempt that I've ever did was I got fully prepped, and I was only able to find like 6 food, and I was able to cook them. So I went in with 6 food. But
that was, I was playing it game to myself, and it was take a drink every time we have to remind Michael to find fish because his camera was covering the time that he had left. Like, how much time you have left? Like 3 minutes, 13 seconds. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, going for tier 2. I'm like, where's your fish? He's like, we're going for tier 2. I'm like, where's your food, Michael? Where's your food? Because the entire time I kept having to remind him to find food. Like if you're learning the corrupted gauntlet and you've only ever done regular gauntlet, tier 2 armor is really good. Tier 2 armor is damage reduction, it's extra offense, it's fantastic. If you don't know how to prep in corrupted gauntlet, tier 1 is mandatory, tier 2 is luxury, right? You don't go for tier 2 or any tier 2 pieces until you are absolutely certain that you have your 2 secondary pieces for your 2 perfected weapons, a full set of tier 1 armor, potions, at least 2 edginal pots. You could do 2 of the 3 dose, but if you want to be comfortable, you can get 3. And then at least 20 fish. If you want to get real, specific with it, you can get up to like 25 if you have the time with teleport crystals and all that. But until you have that locked in, or like, oh, I have a 3 fishing spot right next to my main room, I can save that for later and come back and get it. Don't go for tier 2. You got other things to prioritize if you're learning CG. Everyone will say get tier 2, which they are correct. Tier 2 is kind of goated in Corrupted Gauntlet, but if time is your issue, it's got to be weapon. I like to go find the weapon, gather supplies for tier 1 while I'm finding the weapon, immediately rush a demi boss, get a perfected weapon in the tube, and then find food and other parts from there. So you should only go in the main room twice. Tiki, I don't know how to do Corrupted Gauntlet that well. Gotta level with you.
I was in VC, and forgive me, I don't remember who I was talking to, but somebody was saying that the difference in damage between tier 1 and tier 2 armor is the equivalent of like 2 or 3 fish. So if you can prioritize getting an entire inventory of fish, you're still going to be able to out-eat all of the DPS because you only save 2 or 3 fishes worth of damage. The difference between tier 1 and tier 2. And that kind of like gave me some more confidence to be able to just like get in there, go for tier 1 armor. Tier 2 is a luxury. You don't really need it. Because as long as you can get a full inventory of fish, you should be able to out-eat all the damage in time to kill the boss.
And now we also got some work to do at Hunliff, but
yeah, it's going, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but like I'm hoping within a reasonable amount of time, I'll have my first CG, and then from there, it's just building on that confidence of getting it done. Anyway, that's my like official, unofficial goal for myself, as well as getting some more Zulrah KC. I'm up to 220 something, I think. I'm not going to make Oxie look me up. I'll look myself up and tell you guys that I'm up to 221 with 0 uniques. It's been quite the journey.
Boys. He's due.
You say I'm due. It's funny because I posted in our Discord in the Iron Plaza that I got 200 KC with no uniques yet. And there's several people that were like, that's funny. I went to like 750 with my until I got, it's like 750 until I got my first unique. Like, I don't know if I have the will to do that. 750 Zulrah KC to see your first unique. And I will kick something if I get an Onyx first. I don't want to get too graphic, but it would be a bad day if I went to 750 and my first unique was an Onyx.
That's another Zenite, baby. We're chilling.
Yeah, sure. We're chilling. Anyway, enough of that. Oxie, how are you?
Man, do me a favor. What are the high scores? Look up Oxie fans for me real quick. Okay.
Oxie fans. She's 88 fire making.
Which, for reference, is like 2.2 million fire making XP in like 6 days at the top, which isn't a ton.
2 million?
I'm getting 260K an hour, barely paying attention. So brace yourself, bitch. It's coming your way. I'm not doing it right now because I'm recording. I don't really care about Wintertide that much. It has renewed my hatred in the minigame. It truly has. If I have to look over to do anything else, and get the notification that the cold of the toad stops me from doing an activity, I'm going to punch my monitor. I hate Wintertodd so much. I really hate Wintertodd. But it's good XP, you know. I'm getting a crate pretty much every time. We're just cruising through. It's terrible, but we're doing it. That's been the only thing I've been doing on the Iron. Michael and I sent a TOA the other day, a 150 on our Iron Men when we streamed on Friday. And the gall of this man to die when Akka had 30% health left and forced me to do a 1+1 Akka by myself. I went through 4 brews during cum phase and then locked in for what was the smoothest footwork of my life during cum phase at 13 HP for a bulk of that fight.
Yeah.
And finally,
it was good.
It was a 10.5 minute Akka kill.
Very impressed with you, by the way. That was fantastic gaming. I've never seen somebody so locked in.
Black, white, yellow, white. Easy. Black, white, yellow, white. That doesn't mean
you remember
black,
the sequence?
It doesn't mean black, red, white, yellow. It means black, white, yellow, white. I don't know if that was the exact sequence, but you know what I mean. Michael died at the flashy portal phase thing, the memory puzzle, as it were. But otherwise, we were chilling. The main. I am feeling giga demotivated.
Do we want to tell people why?
Yeah, Michael and I have kind of sat down and we've gone over like the logistics of the trip, and we're fairly certain because we bought travel insurance, we actually can get refunds on our tickets. And because of that, I don't think Michael and I will be going to England in September. Without RuneFest, it is difficult to justify during that period. You know, we've had some life event changes, things like that. My job is also technically in like a time off lockout because it's the beginning of the semester for me. So it's not a great look at the moment to go. So unfortunately, there will be no Xpwaste London, not this year anyways. Hopefully when RuneFest gets rescheduled. Michael and I are not canceling our RuneFest tickets, so ideally we'll still have our RuneFest tickets for next year.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, they won't. They haven't refunded us yet. I don't think so, because the event hasn't been canceled. It's just been postponed. So we haven't reached out to Jagex for a refund. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep our RuneFest tickets, but we won't be going to England in September. That said, September 7th is now a super insignificant weekend, and I have not given a shit. It's like I really had this like, oh baby, we're gonna rush, we're gonna get it done. You know, we got the wood cutting, we got the 2 ticking, we got the solo lavas, we got the runner lavas. Like, we are gonna blitz through this. This is gonna be crazy. The maxing calculator doesn't even work anymore. Like, that's how I know. Chaos Cleric's maxing calculator has not worked in like a week. I think he changed a value because the RuneFest day changed, and it's just not worked. So it's like, dude, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is, man. Like, I don't know. I know Birdfax was like, is bitch if you don't like max and you say you're gonna max, and like, yeah, I do respect that. Part of me still wants to like bust my balls and do it anyway, just to say that I could do it in the time frame. Like, for reference, you know, I could do it if I want to, but I also don't know if that's worth it for me anymore.
Right.
I don't know if it's worth it for me to max on a random weekend in September in like the middle of the work week or anything like that. You know, like I don't know. I'm not as sold on the idea. So I think that's the thing. It's like, oh, I could push back to this, but this I just don't care.
Right.
I think that's the issue. It's like I no longer care about having a maxi day. It's like, I'll get there when I get there. Who cares? You know? Yeah, it's Tiki says the maxing calculator goes down. Nobody bats an eye. But when WOM doesn't update correctly during bingo, everybody loses their mind. Because that's their XP. You know, the other thing is my XP. People don't care as much about that. So I don't know. part of me thinks a cool way to max would be a bingo pre-party. I was talking to my friend Sydney about it today, and she was saying, why don't you max at the end of bingo as like a celebration of the end? I'm like, I've been to maxing parties at the end of bingo, and the vibe that I had while there was like, dude, so proud of you. Congratulations. Love this for you. I'm going to go to bed. Like, I'm so tired. I'm going to go to sleep. So,
and then you gotta like skirt around certain XP unless you just, it's like something like herb lore and you just don't make potions for the rest of the week or something. But
which is fine until you go to
nerve-wracking.
chambers.
It's
I'm thinking, we don't know the dates for fall bingo yet. Fall bingo will be here. People have been asking me. I don't know, dude. Probably later October,
It's
like
only
it has been the
June.
last several years. Like, people need time off. That's why they're asking. But like,
oh yeah,
I don't know, dog. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. When we get a date, we'll obviously let you guys know. I think a pregame party would be sick.
yeah.
Like, bingo usually starts on a Saturday. If we have a party on a Friday night, I'll get my Maxscape and then we'll reveal the board. That'd be pretty cool.
And then you can do the whole bingo maxed.
I mean, selfishly, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But like, I'm thinking like, I think that could be a fun hype. Like, that way it gets people excited to play. It's like, again, I don't care for the fanfare necessarily, but to get people hyped for bingo, like, everybody show up to a maxing party, get like the entire bingo out there, which at this point is gonna be like 500 players, something ridiculous like that. Just show up to the maxing party and then we rock up for the board reveal, and then we can strategize with our teams and do all that fun stuff. Like, that'd be super fun. So I don't know. Maybe we've pushed maxing back by like 6 weeks. But at the end of the day, I don't care.
Yeah.
I think if I can get rune crafting done in the summer, cool, because it's a slow one. And redwoods are much easier on the iPad than soul runes are. But I've not been doing soul runes because wop wop. I don't care. I don't want to say I've completely lost motivation to max. Like, I'm 2233. I hit 95 woodcutting the other day. We're 600k away from 96. I've got construction banked. I don't know, dude.
You want my advice?
What's your advice?
As someone who is maxed, I thought that I had all of these things that I wanted to do after I maxed, but I looked back and I've like realized that it wasn't about the cape for me. It was about the journey to get the cape. And I kind of regret going as hard as I did because I missed the journey more than I enjoyed the destination. And so I think if you like bust your balls and you just don't have fun and like you do all this just to, like, if you did keep September 7th, I feel like you would look back and you'd be like, that's it.
Yeah, like, I can tell you right now, it's not worth it to like,
no,
to prove, like, don't get me wrong, I'm all about like proving a point, but it's not worth it to prove that kind of a point. So like, I don't know. If I can get rune crafting done in the summer, that's close enough for me. Because then the other skills are a joke. Like, someone calculated out in the Xpwaste chat. Rune crafting is like 60 hours. Wood cutting was 50. And I'm like, excuse me? What do you mean wood cutting is 50 hours? And turns out wood cutting is a lot slower than I thought it was going to be. So funny enough, it's wood cutting that crept up on me, not fishing. Like, I was worried fishing was. But like, again, between two-tick and redwoods, literally whenever, right? You can do redwoods in your sleep. Like, I've gotten up and like taken showers while cutting redwoods because like you got a 5-minute timer on the tree. You just get up, click on it with an empty inventory. You are chilling, right? You're not. Nothing's gonna happen. So like, crystal two-handed. If I am paying attention, which means I'm saving a lot of ticks in between spots, 96k an hour. I have 96k an hour on my tracker right now, the crystal two-handed and these forester ration things. So whatever. If I can get rune crafting done, that'll be enough for me to be like, yeah, I can blitz through all these other skills. I think smithing's like 350k an hour with gold. Then I'll also probably do Giant's Foundry, which is going to be between 16 and 19 hours to get all the points I need to green log it. And then Herblore, it's like 16 hours with range bots. Thieving, I think, is about 14 hours with Hardy Knights. I don't know how long Hunter is going to be now because of Driftnet. It was originally like 40-ish hours of Irby straight through before Hunter rumors came out. But between rumors and all the driftnetting I did, and I'm 600k to 97 Hunter. Hunter's not going to take me that long. Construction is a day. Construction is wake up early, take a shower, make a pot of coffee, and just hold the one
Sit
key
down.
all day long. And I could probably get construction done again in a day. So
I hate that I have to say this out loud, but with the new menu entry swapper and the things that Jagex has allowed with construction, tables are better than benches now. Now they are, yes. And I guess if I have to like retroactively go back and tell myself benches are not the best XP in the game anymore, I said it. It's okay. Tables are
so brave.
Chill, dude.
So brave. Yeah.
Gay Raccoon sent us a video. It's like literally hold down one.
Not as helpful as you think it would
click.
be. The guy doesn't talk in the video, which pisses me off. He doesn't do any explanation. He just types it out in his chat and then just holds the one key. Like shows the setting and then just holds the one key. It does
really
it that
shouldn't
way.
be. It should not be that hard to figure it out, though.
It shouldn't be that hard to figure it out, but like, why is there a 10-minute video of you just doing it with your XP per hour and not a 40-second explanation of what is going on?
Bro, he needs the 10 minutes so he gets the double ad revenue from YouTube from all the people watching the entire 10 minutes of him.
I don't care how long it is. I care that like I want to hear your voice tell me what to do in an instructional video. That's what I want to see and hear.
Xpwaste guide. Write it down. We'll make an Xpwaste guide, and you will be the voice of this guide.
It'll be a YouTube short. It'll literally be it doesn't take much. It's like 45 seconds. It doesn't take much to do. But yeah, I think I don't know. That's where I've been. I got to do a little bit of PVM. I did some gauntlets on the main. I did some 4CAF on the main because I just had a hankering for some 4CAF. I did an entry mode Tob with Wispy, which I've shown interest in another like brand new PVMer. Because it's like, yeah, he popped in the VC. He's like, yeah, I'm looking to get like combat achievements and shit. So people were like, oh, I'll take you to Chambers. Then I joined. He's like, yeah, I'm here for combat achievements. I'm like, you want combat achievements, motherfucker? Get you some combat achievements real quick. I said, Raccoon and I take you to entry mode, get you about 26 points, just like that. Which was way less than we thought because it turned into a like a 5-man entry mode, which is basically a diet regular. And I'm like, okay, what's the point of a 5? Like we get through the 5-man without getting all the achievements. And I'm like, everybody who's not Wispy, go away. Wispy and I are gonna go into an entry mode just by ourselves, and we're gonna get like the 3 that we missed in the first couple of rooms.
Yeah.
So helping out with that, and then I don't even know what else. Like I don't think I've run actual PVM content in forever. I did Vorkath, I did Zulrah, I did Gauntlet over the last couple of days. That's been it. Oh, you know what I did? The only PVM thing of significance, I finally got the Fremennik way done. So I don't have to see that dumbass combat achievement every time I start a Vorkath fight. It was 14.5 minute kill with full Inquisitor and a Blood Fury. It sucked. I could have got a Slayer task, but I did not feel like it. So we got it done. That's all I've done. Michael, what are we here to talk about today? Because I know we've been talking before we really started the episode, but my recording track says 40 minutes and we're nowhere near main title content. So what are we talking about?
We're near it. We are approaching it. We're in the descent. The runway is here.
This is what those like 2 people complain about, that we talk too much in the beginning.
We're just yapping, dude. We're just yapping.
We do be yapping a little bit.
We need to put like a timestamp in the description of like when main title content starts for those 2 people who really care. They could just skip the first part. You guys just jump ahead. If you want to listen to the main title, it starts at 36 minutes and 42 seconds.
It starts right here. Welcome.
Right now.
What's up? Welcome back.
So you talk about all the stuff you haven't been doing. What you could be doing this week is making money with non-boss money-making methods. So this week we have another list. I don't know how many are on this list. I think there's like 7 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's like 10. So we're going to go through these. I don't know what the format's going to be, but it's pretty unofficial. These are just like off the top of our heads, and some from Instagram, because I posted on our story on our Xpwaste Instagram. I said, what's your favorite non-boss money-making method? And we got a couple good ones. The most notable one is from my wife, and she said, my RuneScape boyfriend. So I'll be having a conversation tonight. Wish me luck. That's going to be quite awkward.
I think she's talking to you.
I know.
You're the RuneScape boyfriend, and as an Iron Man, I don't care about making money. So you've been slacking. We gotta get you into, like, you know, you gotta do these money makers on your Iron, drop trade them over. You know?
Yeah. Anytime she does log in, I just dump like 10 mil on her account and say good luck. So she probably has a bunch of money just laying around.
That's a damn good moneymaker. Just have a rich RuneScape boyfriend. Well, if you can't find one of those off the rip, the point of this topic is like, yes, are you going to make as much money doing non-boss moneymakers as you will at Duo Next or Theater of Blood or Coliseum or Hydra? No, we know that. We're not trying to say these are the best moneymakers in the game. The point of this is to present this to players, new or old, who may not have the knowledge for bossing, which is okay. May not have the funds to like get a bunch of stuff for bossing, because bossing trips like can be decently expensive, right? Depending on what you're trying to kill and how you're trying to kill it. And then I had a third thing, and then Blue jumped on my chair, and I completely forgot. Or if you're just looking to like relax and hang out a little bit, if you're looking to do something a little bit more mellow, I think only one of them will get your heart rate going, and that's just because of where it's at. Everything else, you're chilling. But
oh, by the way, these are not. Tiki reminded me. He says, "But Oxie, I'm an Iron. These were not like made with irons in mind." So,
you know what? No, it's not even that they're not irons in mind. You know what? If the Iron Men really want some content out of the Xpwaste podcast, go to your spell book on the standard spell book. Check like the top third on the right side. There's a thing that says high alchemy. You'll get something out of this from that. So all you stinky Iron Men out here, put a fire staff on, get your nature. Someone just left. So one of the Iron Men just left the chat.
You can make money with some of these. There are a couple on this list that will give you alchables, or you can sell items to a shop. But for the majority of this is going to be under the assumption that you can just like dump everything on the GE if you want to. And that's how you're going to make money. Because obviously making money in an Iron Man is not like the most important thing in the world. I've heard from a lot of endgame Irons that like once you get to a certain point in your account, the green stack just starts to grow and you don't really touch it ever, because there's not a lot of things that you spend money on for the remainder of your account. So if you're an early game Iron Man, good luck, I guess. I mean, I just had a rich sugar daddy who dumped a bunch of onyx bolts into our shared chest and we alched them, and that's how I made money. So
if you are an early game Iron, you can still do. I'm looking at one of these things you can do that I did as an early Iron Man. And do we want to just start with that one? Just because we've alluded to it twice already. So as an early game Iron Man, you could scrounge up 100K. Scrounge up 100K from Temporos by getting some of the chests, right? The loot chests from Temp. You get the little crates, not the crates, like they're physically the chests. They have jewelry and rune items. Alch those, get yourself 100K as an early Iron Man, and pull the fear stick out of your ass and go to the Revenant Caves. That's our first moneymaker on this list. Our first non-boss moneymaker But Oxy, what about Revenant Maledictus? First non-boss moneymaker on this list is the Revenant Caves. Tiki said agility pyramid for your first 100k. If you hate yourself, you can do that too.
You can do that.
Revenant Caves make you a shit ton of money, regardless of what stage of your account you're on, right? If you are a lower level Iron Man, you're brand new to the game, you don't want to lose a whole lot of stuff because you don't really get a whole lot of stuff super quickly. Kill the hobgoblins in like level 20 something wilderness, kill the imps in level 19, but don't go super deep into the caves. The imps, the goblins, the hobgoblins, they drop enough loot where it's not that big of a deal. And if you're a low enough combat level, you're probably not going to be at risk. The minute you get yourself a bracelet of Ethereum drop, the whole thing becomes pretty free. I would, obviously having overheads is nice for PKers, but frankly, you don't even need those. If you really want to like start making money quickly, if you're a main account, this is where things really start to get spicy, right? You as a main account are going to do me a favor. You're going to go to the Grand Exchange and you're going to buy the Amulet of Avarice, right? Because you're not a bitch. We don't raise bitches in this house. You're going to get yourself an Amulet of Avarice. You're going to take one item you care about, particularly if you got a crossbow, that's the way to do it, or the web weaver bow, that's good. If you don't want to take that, the blowpipe is a fine substitute. People are going to think you're a bot, but that's fine. Amulet of Avarice gives you a skull. When you're skulled in the Revenant Caves, you get extra loot. Pretty sure the loot is better. The chances to get better loot are improved when you are skulled in the Revenant Caves. And the Amulet of Avarice specifically notes all of the drops from the Revenants. So I don't know if I have it on my loot tracker still, but I bet you if I actually scrolled down to it almost perfectly. That's kind of crazy. So while doing bingo, we had to kill a lot of Revenants for the Revenant Maledictus kill. I killed, or not, the Revenant Maledictus and the item. I killed about 200 total Revenants. Revenant Demons and Revenant Cyclopses got me about 900k, not too bad. But it was above the 30 line, so it was kind of stinky. 158 Revenant Orcs got me 5.12 mil. So, and yes, I did get an Amulet of Avarice. It was only 500k. So it wasn't even that much. I got a bunch of noted loot, including Dragon Plate Legs, Dragon Plate Skirts, Bracelets of Ethereum, Planks, a shit ton of allocable rune items, and they'll drop hard food to kind of keep the trip going a little bit so you can stay. Understand when you're out in the Revenant Caves, right? The only thing you are concerned about protecting is your weapon, either your web weaver bow or your toxic blowpipe or your chain mace or whatever you're taking with you, right? Only concerned about keeping your protect item prayer on for your weapon. If you die in the Revenant Caves and you lose 2 mil out of your looting bag because you're a white whale, you got a bunch of money in there, you didn't actually lose 2 mil, right? Because that's all gravy, right? It's all the profit you made from that boss, but you technically didn't get to take any of it home, right? It's kind of like if you're fishing in real life and the fish pops off the hook right before you get it in the boat. It doesn't count, So
you didn't lose it.
You didn't lose, you don't lose that kind of money, right? That money doesn't come out of your account, right? You lose some things. You lose your black dragon hide. You lose your shitty, Ava's accumulator or whatever the second one is. If you have a range cape, attach a Vorkath head to that bitch, you can have an assembler in the wilderness, and you can always just get more for 100k. But there's the Amulet of Avarice is probably the only thing that you're consistently going to lose money on because it's 500k. But Revenants make you so much money, you guys. Yeah. That's not to mention the totems or the weapons or Maledictus, because every time you kill Maledictus, you get a guaranteed totem drop. You guaranteed.
Is it the 1 mil one, right? Or is it just any totem?
It is a guaranteed roll on the totem table. So that means you could get the one that's 500k. You can get the one that's 1 mil. You can get the one that's 16 mil, right? You can make a pretty decent chunk of change. It's pretty common to get the 500k or the 1 mil one. But even so, you guys, Revenants at all stages of your account, Iron, Main, if you're in the early game, and you don't have money for an Amulet of Avarice, still skull yourself up with the Emblem Trader in Edgeville. Go out there anyway because the drop rates
just be shorter trips.
Shorter, that's totally fine. But that's okay if they're shorter trips, right? because you're still making money. You're an endgame main account, Amulet of Avarice, Web Weaver Bow. Bring an Anti-Venom. If you don't have the agility level, bring a Summer Pie for that agility shortcut to hop over on the east side of the caves. Sit at the Orcs on an empty world. Personally, the 2200 worlds are great. You know, because if you got player indicators turned on and you got the flash indicator turned on when a player shows up, you show up to a 2200 world, you get out of there before Darth Vader sees you, you're good. Right? Revenants are the play. They are a bussin' non-boss moneymaker.
Yeah. Nice. I think we should just knock out all the wilderness ones because we have 3.
We have 3 of them?
I added another one. Ooh,
okay.
So before we get into the rest of the wilderness ones, there's a couple things that I think you should do. Number 1, turn on PvP skull prevention.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the settings. I don't know if it's automatically turned on for everyone. I would assume it is, but if for some reason it's turned off, click on the settings gear, like the little wrench icon next to the logout button. Go to the cog menu, and it's right there. It says PvP skull prevention. Turn that on. PKers will do what they can to get you to skull because that's the way they make the most money, and they're incentivized to cheat in some ways. Not cheat, but like be cheeky, I guess. Yeah, they'll try and get you. So just turn that on. It's going to help your adventures in the wilderness moving forward. And it's going to help you make more money by not losing money. Turn on PvP skull prevention. And then if you're on RuneLight, there's a plugin called Wilderness Player Alarm. And essentially what happens is whenever somebody enters your loaded chunk, it's going to flash on it's going to make your screen flash. This can be helpful if you're not really good at paying attention to the mini map, and you want to be alerted if somebody comes into your area so that you can log out. The more time you spend in the wilderness, like the less butt clenching you'll have to do, because you'll just get used to it, and you'll die a few times and you'll become desensitized to it. It's fine. So the first couple hours or whatever that you're in the wilderness, have that wilderness player alarm turned on. That can also be helpful if you are using your account as like a scout. If you want to have like a scout account, if you're doing the wildy bosses, it can be helpful. So that's an all-around great plugin. Those 2 things will just make your time in the wilderness better. And then after you've turned those things on, go and do wilderness agility. That's the one that I just added because I've heard people say it's several million GP per hour.
I've completely forgot they updated that. I'm not gonna
lie. As well as being good XP per hour, you can risk a lot and make a lot of money in the wilderness agility. And this one is Iron Man friendly because most of the stuff that you're going to get is alchable. Now there will be things like blighted food, blighted potions, magic casting sacks or whatever they're called. But a lot of this stuff will be stuff that you can just straight alch. I don't have the exact numbers on what you can expect as far as XP per hour, but I've heard a lot of people say that it's really good money. And the XP per hour is actually decent. So if you're willing to maybe die a few times, because it is anytime there's like a good money making method to be had, it's going to attract PKers. So maybe this is where you get kind of desensitized from dying, and then you go to revs and you make pretty good money there too. But definitely go and try out wilderness agility. I haven't tried it myself, but again, I've just heard. So this part of the wiki says if you do 61 plus laps without banking, your average loot per lap is going to be 40K, and then you'll make 600K getting to 61 laps. So I don't know how long the laps are, but they can't be that long.
They're not that long. They're super short. I think I don't know what I could probably look the agility XP per hour, but I would guess it's
yeah. Give it a try. Let us know if you've tried it, and I know it's good money because like you can't like alchables, they just don't like the value from alchables doesn't go away. It's always going to be a pretty set amount, and so they can control that GP per hour pretty well. So and then the third one in the wilderness is another one that I haven't done a whole lot, but I know that it absolutely shits out money, is the zombie pirates, which, if you're not aware, these things were just released a few months ago, and they are chilling at the Chaos Altar. So if you have a burning amulet, you just go to the level 15 wilderness teleport Chaos Altar and kill yourself some zombie pirates. I think, yes, the money is going to be in alchables, but there's also the teleport anchoring scroll, which you have a chance to get from either, let me see. I think this is also
teleport anchoring scrolls 1 in 20k from these pirates.
Okay, so you can get it from the pirates themselves, but the where you're probably going to get it is from the keys, zombie pirate keys, which I'm going to look up the rate on the keys.
They're 1 in 24.
Oh, the scroll is 1 in 24 from the key?
So the key from the pirates is 1 in 24.
Oh, okay.
The lockers at the shipwreck are zombie pirate locker. It's a 1 in 275.
Oh, that's not bad. 1 in 275. So, I mean, the keys are pretty common. I went there for probably 5 minutes and got, because I was testing out the keys for us to do it during bingo. And I got like 5 or 6 keys fairly quickly. So, as well as all of the alchables that you get from zombie pirates, definitely turn in those keys to get the anchoring scroll. What's the current price of the anchoring scroll?
Like 750k, something like that.
Oh, is it only that low?
Yeah. Zombie pirates are decent. It's like 5k per kill on average. You want the weapons and armors where you make a lot of the money for the alchables. Because the weapons and armor, you get the Rune Warhammer, Battle Axe, Longsword, and then the very rare dragon gear drops. So,
yeah, the wiki says that the scroll is about a mil. It's 975k.
Wiki says it's 777 for me.
Huh?
It says 704 when I go to the actual page.
Weird.
Teleport anchoring scroll in shambles.
I mean, 700k is not anything to shake a stick at. It's money. And at a 1 in 200 something, I'd call that pretty decent.
I would, if you're gonna really sit at zombie pirates for a while, I highly recommend just dropping 700k and buying
getting the scroll.
Buying the scroll before you start this grind, because the wizards are so frustrating. So.
Does the scroll keep you from being teleblocked?
No, it keeps you from being jumped around. So it also works with Abyssal Demons, which is very nice.
Yeah, I did try it for. I got it on my main. I paid like 3 or 4 mil for it, which kind of feels bad at this point. But I got it on the main and like during bingo, and whenever we were going for the whip drop, it was really nice to kill demons without being teleported around. So if you're not 85 Slayer yet, just get it, and then you'll never have to worry about the annoying teleport mechanics of Abyssal Demons if you've never experienced it. Like 700k, even if it's a mil, I think it's worth it, because at that point you could make that million back fairly quickly if you're just killing zombie pirates. With all of these methods, I'm gonna highly recommend getting a looting bag. If you're not familiar with how the looting bag works, anytime you're in the wilderness, you can store things in that bag, and they can only be retrieved once you've gotten to a bank interface. So you can put anything that you get in the wilderness into the bag, and it's basically a second inventory. So if you're going to be sticking around, killing revenants, killing whatever, get yourself a looting bag. And if you know that you're going to be doing it a lot, just buy looting bag notes from the GE. And then anytime you want to get a looting bag, you just trade in a note, and it gives you a free looting bag, because they're really common from different monsters in the wilderness. But it can be annoying to just punch a skeleton and go dry, because I think it's 50-50 in most cases. But there are times where you can just kill 20 or 30 skeletons and not get a looting bag. And so to save yourself that trouble, just get some looting bag notes. Because unfortunately, if you were to die and get PK'd, you lose the bag and you lose everything in it. That is part of the risk factor of being in the wilderness. So anything that's in the bag does not get protected, even if it's like a higher value than something that you have on your Protect 3.
If you stick your twist,
Look at your camera. Just since you started talking about the bag.
my cat, obviously, as you can't guess, my cat was all over my shit. So,
oh, it's funny.
yeah.
But yes, if anything goes in the bag, it's going to get lost. So make sure that you don't accidentally put something in there that you know you want to keep. Because there's been times where people heard like really sad stories of people who were, going for the dragon pickaxe. They accidentally put it in the bag and then they got PK'd and now it's gone. Not even the opportunity for it to be saved in your like 3-item protect. So get yourself a looting bag. That's all the wilderness ones we have, I think.
Yeah. So we're kicking it off early. The wilderness has always been a place to make money. Like, we're not even talking about the big 3 bosses. We're not even talking about the reworked Scorpio drop table. We're not talking about PKing, for God's sakes, right? The wilderness has always been a place that has a lot of money in it because of the PVMer kill, like monster gets killed by PVMer gets killed by PKer, PKer gets killed by better PKer kind of food chain the wilderness has, right? Didn't do just PKing. What? Rogue's Chest is semi-decent money. I've not done Rogue's Chest, but I've heard it's not too bad, right?
Oh, I have heard Rogue's Chest is good.
Just get out there and do it. It's not a question anymore. Just get out there and do it. I promise it's not as scary as you think it's going to be, because I'm serious. If you don't skull up, if you turn skull prevention on and you take only 3 valuable items, you can buy everything else back. I promise you, it's okay. You're not going to lose anything super utterly important. Don't go to a high risk world. Don't accidentally take your whole cash stack. And sometimes you will lose things that are more expensive. You will find that you will be able to just buy them back. You lose your cannon, that sucks. You can buy another cannon for like 800K. It's the idea of this is to get in there and make some money so we have that safety net, right? Not all moneymakers in this game are super fast, though. That is the downside of this video game, is sometimes things are slow. So in the nature of slowing things down a little bit, right? We could have stuck with the killing. We could have stuck with this. But I think in the spirit of slowing things down, a really good moneymaker that's been around for several years and has stayed consistently pretty good are battle staves from Zap Shop. Battle staves, ooh, are they good anymore? Let me see. OSRS, Zap. You can buy the battle staves from Zap for how much is the question. Buying battle staves from Zap.
So I'll give you a boomer moment, right? So this is going to be one of those back in my day, whenever I had first gotten the Veracruz diary done, you could sustain a bond by just doing the staves every day. You could sustain yourself with membership by logging in every day, spending about 30 seconds, buying the staves and selling them on the GE. That is not the case now because bonds have gone up like 3 or 4x since then. So if we're going off of that logic, you can make about 3 to 6 mil per month with going and just collecting the elite diary. If you have the elite diary done, you can make about 3 to 6 mil per month.
I think you can make some money, but it's just not as good as it used to be. I'm trying to find, because I want to say you can buy them from Zaf for they undersell them to players. I think you can buy them for, what is it? I think the input's 840 and the output is 964. So it's a lot. It's a
little over 100K.
It takes some time to stack up. It's a lot. It's not as good as it used to be. Back when battle stabs were more expensive and you profited a couple, like, I think at this point, dude, like 120. It's just not as much, man. I don't know how much. I need to go check this now. I need to go to Zaf's shop because I have not. I don't know how much he sells them to you for. So right now I'm looking it up, and battle stabs are selling for 8,009 GP a piece. And I think you buy them from Zaf for 8,000. It might be for 7,500. sells them for 7,500.
So
that's believable. Yeah.
So staffs have never really like I don't think that staffs have really fluctuated as much as we think they have. Because they're always tied to alk price. And they're tied to the price of like how much you can alk a battle staff for. Or sorry, like
I mean,
like an air battle staff or, you know.
Kind of, yeah, but they're all still relatively lower than their alk price. So yeah, battle staffs have stayed up there for the crafting resource, but
So I mean, you make money. It's just like Oxie said, it's slow money. So it's slow and consistent. You used to be able to sustain yourself with membership by just doing that, but now not the case. It can definitely help, but you're probably better off just buying bonds with real money or buying membership with real money. Because if you haven't seen the price of a bond, like 14 mil.
okay, I am an idiot. He sells them for 7,000 a piece. I don't know why I was like, oh, I gotta go check. I just look on the fucking Varrock Elite Diary wiki page. He sells them to you for 7,000 coins a piece, and he sells you 120 a day for 7K a piece. He'll start selling you 15 a day with the easy diary completion. So you can stack this up. Like we've said, it's not as good as it used to be, but it ain't terrible.
So that's 840K. And a battle staff right now sells on the GE for 8K.
I mean, like
make
like
120K.
It's about 120K. So
that's a free 120K for doing nothing, though. You have the Elite Diary done. You just log in, and that's a free 120K in your bank. I wouldn't say that that's worth doing. No, I mean they give you the reminder when you log in.
Yeah,
but it's
that
also
is true.
I have tuned out that reminder so hard. I don't even look at it.
It does
Probably
require about 850K input though to have money.
Which is you spend a couple, like an hour or so at revs, and then you have your 800K, and then every day you're just making 100K profit, 120K. It would be more profit if you added the orbs on top too. Because what's a like a battle staff going for? An air battle staff.
About 9K-ish.
Air orbs are how much? We're doing on the fly math here, guys. It's probably not even the best one, but just an example. Oh, an air orb is 1.1K? Why are they so expensive? Water orb? Water orbs are only 936. If you've done a bit of Perilous Moons, you probably have a bunch of water orbs in your bank already. And you can go ahead and just attach those to the battle staffs that you've gotten from Zaf. A, that's free crafting XP. And B, you're going to be able to sell them for more money than you would from just.
But this is a very slow money maker.
It's slow. It's definitely slow. Another slow one. Let's see. Let's get all the slow ones out of the way. I would say another slow one is going to be something that's pretty random if it were to happen to make money. But this one was actually suggested from our Instagram. It's going to be farming contracts. The seeds that you get from farming contracts can be utter absolute shit. Like you could get banana tree seeds, but you can also get dragon fruit seeds. And dragon fruit tree seeds are 170K each. Sometimes you get one, sometimes you get two, sometimes you get three. It just depends. RNG is in place, but like you do like a 5-minute contract. You go and plant your snape grass. You walk away. You go do something else. You come back. You pick that snape grass. You get your elite or whatever it's called, and you pop out a dragon fruit tree seed. That's decent money. It's going to be account progression, as well as the occasional, just bitch and seed. Now, if we want to look on the wiki and see what the other options for seed pack rewards.
So right now, if you get, I don't know what this tier thing is, which I'm confused about. I don't know why there are tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 packs. I don't know what the tiers mean necessarily. But the average expected value from a hard farming contract is about 55K per pack. And I don't know why. I don't know what these tiers mean. It's seed tiers. That doesn't mean anything to me. Still doesn't mean anything thing to me. But I guess with higher seed tiers, you can make more money. The seed tiers at tier 5 go up to the 70K. Someone who understands that can explain that better. But yeah, you're going to get between 50 to 70K per pack with 85 to 90 farming. It's going to be less than that if you go to the, let's say you do a medium contract, you're looking at probably closer to like 30K a pack.
Like, again, these are not going to be fast money makers. Like, you're not making mils per hour. But if you're looking for things to supplement GP while you're still training a skill, the seed packs are going to be something that you don't want to sleep on. I feel like a lot of people just skip out on that content because, like, you can buy seeds off the GE. You don't need to do farming contracts. It's not a necessity. Like, you can get spirit tree seeds elsewhere. I think why people do it for the most part is probably for the spirit tree seeds.
Spory seeds, probably.
Or spory seeds or spirit trees. You can get spory seeds by just doing farming.
You get them pretty You get them pretty consistently from seed packs, though.
So if you have 85 plus, send some hard contracts whenever you think about it. And there's cool thing, like there's like consistent ones that you get often, and so you can just have those things planted, and then you can like rattle off 4 or 5 contracts in a row if you're lucky enough. And then you just go plant those again, and then you go and you get all those ones that she's like, hey, can you go get me some snapegrass? You're like, I have snapegrass planted. You give it back to her. She's like, ooh, can you do a whiteberry for me? And you're like, I already had a whiteberry planted. So you're just back to back to back to back. So if you get lucky, do your hard contracts. So thank you to whoever that was that gave us that suggestion on Instagram.
In the vein of farming, this one's probably going to take a little bit more research on Michael and I's part to get you the exact number. I don't ever do these because I'm a main account, and I don't ever need to because I'm a main account. However, herb runs for making money, I have been told, if you have all 10 patches unlocked, can be half decent. Michael, you do farming. I don't do herb runs like ever, but I've known historically that herb runs are good money if it is something you can consistently keep up with. The reason I never do herb runs is I can never consistently keep up with it. Same reason I don't do battle staffs, because I just forgore, right?
Here's what I'll say. There is a thing on the wiki. There's a certain page. I think you just type in like herb seed or something, and it'll tell you how much the seed cost and then how much the herb cost. And you can tell it like which diaries you have done, which patches you have unlocked. And it'll actually tell you what is the highest profitable seed that you can buy. Because you got to think, one seed is not just one herb. I think at minimum you get at least 3 herbs from it. And right in this, it's always changing. That's why we won't. It's hard to tell you exactly which seed to buy, because like one week you could be doing a certain seed, and then you look, and the next week it's not the most profitable, or say the profit has gone down a lot. So it's always going to change. Currently, snapdragons are going to be 400K per run. So the price of the seed is a lot lower than the output of herbs that you get. So you're profiting. So when you factor in the cost of the seed, you're making 400K for about 10 minutes of work. And that's every like 45 minutes or every hour. Just depends on how long the farming cycles are. I can't remember for herbs. It's not that long. So if say you're just like, you want to take a couple days and make a couple mil, do some herb runs. And you're also going to profit farming XP. Now, the ones that are going to make you money aren't always going to be the ones that are the most XP. Because like pretty consistently, Renars.
I was going to say, Raynar weeds have like, always been like...
Always going to be good money.
You do your Raynars. They ain't what they used to be, man. TOA kind of crashed the market on some of the seeds. And they've also kind of crashed the market, herbs are just, they're everywhere, right? Herbs are absolutely everywhere. And I remember, man, Raynars used to be like 7, 8, 9, 10K. Prayer potions used to be giga expensive, right? But now they're kind of back down to this like 6.8, 7K range, which is pretty fair, right? So you get 4 Raynars, you profited on a Raynar seed, right? You combine this with specifically Ultra Compost and Magic Secutars, you will get way more herbs. So those two are absolutely essential for herb runs. If you are doing herb runs consistently as a main account to make money, I'm going to need you to go to the Grand Exchange, buy a bottomless compost bucket, buy 1,000 pieces of ultra compost, not regular, not super. It's got to be ultra. And then make sure your magic secutors are equipped or in your inventory, because I believe they patched it now so secutors work in your inventory. I'm old school. I like to have my secators in my hand, right? But I believe you can have them in your inventory now too. And they'll still have the same effect. I'm not sure if the farming cape boosts any yield at all. I don't think it does. Does it?
The 99 farming cape does for herbs, yeah.
I did not know that. So the more you know, equip the farming cape if you have it. If you're just an herb run fan, the input is gonna be. The input is Tiki says it gives a chance to not lose a life if in the play. It doesn't also make any sense to me. I got 99 farming like 2 years ago and it just didn't engage with the skill after that. I'm sorry, guys. Other than Hispori, the input for the more pricey herbs, Raynars, Torstals, Snapdragons, you're gonna be looking anywhere between like 250 to like 350K. For 10 herb runs, right? So you also have to factor that into the cost, right? One thing with these moneymakers that require an input, and this can be applicable for anything, right? Like if you have only 100K to go into the Revenant Caves, right? And you come out of there with 110K. Revenant Caves are a little different because like you don't have to pay every time you go in, but you make 110K, you know, you make 110K the next time, and now you're sitting on 220K, and then you get PK and you have to spend another 100K. You're still making money, right? Even if you're doing it lower and slower, right? So you can, what I used to do, I tell the story whenever I'm like, you know, talking about lower level money makers. When I would train Slayer as a low level account, I would get a big drop like a Snapdragon seed. They're like 60K back in the day. And I would go to the Grand Exchange and I would sell the Snapdragon seed as soon as I got it, because that's how I would pay for more prayer potions to finish that Slayer task. So you can do one herb run, make a couple 100K, and then use that money to buy more herbs and just sort of keep whatever is left over. I understand, like, oh, it's basic economics, Oxie. Yes, obviously. But like, we're talking about these passive money makers, and a lot of them apply to every single tier, right? If you are a main account with who is maxed and has a several 100 million GP cash stack, buy yourself a week's worth of runs. Spend 25 mil on seeds and set yourself like timer reminders when you're online, and you'll be raking in the ducats if you have that kind of capital overhead. I understand that. If you don't have that kind of money, and 250K sounds like a lot, if you're on top of your shit, you will make money. It's going to be less if you don't have all of the herb patches, because some of the herb patches require quests. Some of the herb patches require diaries, right? If you don't have all 10 of them, that's fine. But you'll still make money on your runs. So something to keep in mind. If you can't do like, 18 herb runs in a row to maximize your profits or anything like that.
Definitely. It's consistency. It literally is just about consistency with herb runs, because the money is only there if you do the activity. You're not going to make money by just having the seeds sit in your bank. You have to plant them and you have to farm them. I found the calculator, and I'll have it in the description. Now, whenever I said, Snapdragons are going to make you 400K, that's with like the highest tier.
This is
absolute max everything.
Max. Yes.
Yeah. So it's all going to depend on your farming level and what you have unlocked. As an example, for my account and everything that I have unlocked, it says that my highest profit is going to be for Renars. And so it's basically calculating that I'm going to make, or that I'm going to be able to harvest out of the 8 patches that I have available. It's calculating based on everything that I have that I'll get about 68 herbs. So when you factor in the cost of the seed and the cost of the herb itself, that's where the profit comes in.
How much profit is that?
So it's 68 herbs at 6.8K each.
Doesn't give you a total right there.
It does, but I want to see if this total factors in the loss of the seed. 68 times 6,800. Huh. So this is a bit different than, I mean, I don't know how they're getting the profit per run, because if I'm going to get 68 herbs and the herb price is 6,800, my calculator is telling me that I'm going to make 462K.
You probably haven't factored in the roughly 25K per seed times 8, which is about 200K.
25, 60 times 8. Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right.
Yeah,
so
they do factor
the price
I'm like,
of the seed.
there's no way they don't factor in the price of the seed in that.
It takes out the price of the seed.
Don't make us do math during Pride Month of all times on this show. It's a recipe for disaster right there. Get that quest on if you haven't already. And I don't know anything about herb runs. I'm not the guy to ask. And all of my like farming stands out there are probably having heart attacks right now because I'm the one who talked about herb runs. It's historically known that I don't ever do them. Tiki said it sounds like you didn't engage with the content when you did it either. That's absolutely facts. I did palm trees, I did magic trees, and I did Hespori from like 70 to 99. Like I barely ever did. I did Tithe Farm for the first time the other day because I had to get this stupid straw hat. Only time I've ever done Tithe Farm is in leagues. And having to remember how to do Tithe Farm in main game without infinite run, I was like, this is a shitty mini game. But I did it. I did the runs. I dumped my 100 fruit and I didn't get enough for the hat. And I said, all right, this sucks. I'm not coming back. And I just haven't finished that elite clue. So eventually we'll get there. But you don't have auto weed? No, Tiki, I don't have auto weed because it has not mattered to me. I planted palm tree seeds and then never had to weed them again because I just kept redoing it when I was doing my palm tree runs. Again, main account. Can't stress this enough. Main account. So
Oxie made his money through other means, not the ones that we're talking about.
Yeah, so I got a couple, like I'd say maybe like 300-ish mil worth of stuff when I was like first starting out. And like the year of Timescape was in the duel arena, things like that. You know, I had like maybe 20 mil, 30 mil given to me for like construction to get 84. You know, that was huge. I got Michael bought me my Avernic way back in the day. I had, you know, someone buy me my Dex. So like, yes, I did have like some things starting out, but like then I got my own Bofa. And then I started doing Theater Blood. And then I got 95 Slayer and the 1500 Hydra KC. So like, you know, then I got like recently, the last like 2 months, I've made stupid money between a duo T-Bow and a trio Shadow. It's been stupid money the last couple of months, but that's why I want to get back to PVM because I like it. I want to actually do more PVM and not sit at these fucking trees or sit at the essence mines, which interestingly enough is our next moneymaker. Blood runes sell for 203 GP apiece. Soul runes sell for 193 GP apiece. If you want to make money, you're going to do blood runes. Why? Because you also can use blood essence. Blood essence increase by how much? OSRS blood essence. So blood essence increases the amount of blood runes. It gives you a 50% chance to craft an extra blood rune pure. It's like per essence fragment. Right? And it can craft up to an extra 1,000 blood runes. So every essence is worth an extra 1,000 blood runes. You pair blood essence with the full rune crafting outfit that gives a certain percentage boost in the amount of runes you get. Yeah. You can get a bunch of extra blood runes, and now there are two. It's 60% more runes. Holy shit, that's a lot of runes with all 4 pieces. But now we used to be able to do it where it was okay money per hour because it was mad AFK at Zaya. Mad AFK at Zaya. It was good, consistent money always. But now we got the True Blood Altar. And now with the True Blood Altar, you want to get real sweaty with it. This is specifically for my skillers out there. You rock up to that bitch with like 93 agility, the full outfit, and blood essence, right? You teleport to Kirill with your colossal pouch and all of your essence, whatever it is, and your blood essence. Make a bunch of shit. teleport to the nearest bank, rebank, get all, and just repeat that process. I don't know the money per hour. I don't know the rune crafting XP per hour, but in my head, that's a lot of damn blood runes, right? And those blood runes are going to serve you one of two purposes. You're going to sell them to make a lot of money, or you're going to stick them in your sang staff or your scythe to make you a lot of money, right? Specifically with blood runes, I mean, same can be said with soul runes, right? If you're crafting soul runes, you, instead of spending the money on the soul runes to put in your shadow, you keep them and put them in your shadow, because everything in this game shits out chaos runes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blood rune crafting, blood runes have dropped in price a lot over the last couple of years. Blood runes used to be disgusting. Like, blood runes were like gas prices for a while. Where like they were hitting like 400 GP, and we're like, whoa, back up. Like, they were really expensive. But over the last couple of years, blood runes have kind of fallen and stagnated at their lowest price possible, right?
Yeah.
So, blood runes, I'm looking at the chart here. They shot up when Theater of Blood released, and they stayed up pretty regularly until about maybe 2023-ish, when they started to go back down. Maybe even 22, when people stopped doing Tob when TOA came out, because TOA was better money for a while. But blood runes are at a consistent 200 GP a piece. It's that good, consistent money. It doesn't take as long as something like Battle Stabs, but it's not as fast as something like Revenants. You're getting rune crafting XP, so if you only have 77, it's worth it, right? I think, does Blood Essence work at Guardians of the Rift? Yeah, it does. Blood Essence works at Guardians of the Rift. You use Guardian Essence with the Blood Essence. So it'll work. It will work. So you get you can activate your Blood Essence somehow. I don't know, by clicking on it or by crafting runes with it in your inventory. Oh, speaking of that, we just Talk Papa just got the Abyssal Protector. Speaking of Guardians of the Rift. That's neat. But yeah, do your blood rune crafting.
Spooned.
I know you guys need to do it. I know you guys need to do it for your diary requirements. Why do I know? Because I used to be you, and I had to do it for my diary requirements. If you don't want to do the sweaty method, do it at Zaya. It's like 2 clicks on a PC. It's super chill. It's AFK, and it's free real estate, baby. Because the beautiful thing about blood rune crafting, even if you don't have the blood essence, right? Blood Essence costs about 60K right now. They're at their ALC price. If you don't bring Blood Essence, there's literally no input cost. That's the one unique thing about blood runes, as opposed to some of these other moneymakers that we talked about. Some things you require supplies like potions and food. Other things you require things like seeds or an overhead cost for battle staves. Blood rune crafting is completely free.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to actually me and say, well, you can buy Pure Essence. That's an overhead cost. 2 things. Number 1, if you think Pure Essence is an overhead cost, we're in different tax brackets, and don't ever speak to me like that again. Number 2, Day Alt is also free. So still a no cost overhead without Blood Essence, guys. Go do your blood rune crafting. I believe in you. It's really not that bad. Get a show on TV. Start a RuneScape podcast. Blood rune crafting is pretty chill, and it makes you pretty decent money. Is that all the skilling ones? Are we finally free of skilling?
No.
Oh my God, we're not.
Speaking
skilling one.
Speaking of diaries, Oxie. Speaking of diaries,
whoa!
Once you've gotten all of the rune crafting done that you need to do for the diary, and you have your achievement diary cape with the agility rebalancing that they just did, where they changed a bunch of the shortcuts and they added things and they removed things. Jagex, like, unintentionally, I guess, maybe intentionally, just made a really good AFK rune crafting that's not blood runes. You're going to make like 2 mil an hour making nature runes if you have the achievement diary cape. And here's how. You're going to take your achievement diary cape and you're going to teleport to Shiloh Village. There's the diary person there, because like Karam's just kind of interesting, and they have like a bunch of different diary people all around Karamja, because when the achievement diaries first came out, it was only localized in Karamja. That's a bit of RuneScape trivia if you guys weren't, aware. So there's more than just the bird guy for like where Brimhaven agility is. So you can go to Shiloh Village, and the teleport is right next to the shortcut that's right next to the nature altar. So you have your shortcut to the nature altar. You craft your nature runes, and with this method, it's assuming that you have the rune crafting outfit. There's a great video by Wild Mudkip. If you're not aware, it's like he did it within the last couple weeks, so it's still pretty recent. But if you just search Wild Mudkip, he has a video detailing all of how you do this method. And with his test, he made over 2 mil an hour straight GP by just crafting nature runes. And I don't remember what his XP per hour was.
It's like 40 or 50K. I was just talking to Ray about this yesterday. So I don't know if you guys know Ray, Ralva, Raynar, Ray from TNL Discord. She was up by me, and I went to go see her for a while at a professional pool tournament. And in addition to knocking an entire glass of beer all over me at dinner, the full pint, it looked like I pissed myself and just had to like sit in beer all night long. It was a really, really good time. Which was I actually got quite the kick out of. I said it wasn't even the worst thing that's happened to me up here in Mount Pleasant. So, you're totally fine. In addition to that, we were actually talking about this double nature crafting last night while watching some of the like final 16, final 8 pool players. And it was only about 40 to 50K XP an hour. So it's not great. The money's pretty decent. So all of you endgame PVMers who are deciding to get your max cape, right? I'm talking to you specifically. You've tuned this episode out because you're like, oh, I can do Tob. I don't need to listen to this. Tob doesn't get you a max cape. Ask me how I know, right? You want to make a little bit of money and get some rune crafting XP along the way, because if the GP fuels your dopamine, get your diary cape, do this method. Teleport to the guy, go down the stairs, menu entry swap so you don't ever have the go upstairs button, just the downstairs button. Menu entry swap. Just go over the shortcut. Easy peasy.
I was going to recommend this for you because I think I watched this video and I think it's more than 50K an hour. I think it's like 70K an hour. So it's nothing to scoff at as far as rune crafting methods go.
If you're tick perfect, it might be 70. I ain't tick perfect for shit. I'll tell you that though. I'm not tick perfect at all.
I would say try it out because like he made, and it is more effective if you have the double nature in, but like if you've got your diary cape, you're well on your way to like getting double natures. Yeah, you can stop at 86 and have the achievement diary cape. But at 91, this method becomes what it is in 2 mil an hour, 2 million GP per hour. So he made 24,000 nature runes in 1 hour, which is halfway decent when it comes to money. And it's like, if you want and you're, crazy, I guess you could use those nature runes to alch things, but
you could do it with Dale and get even more XP if you really wanted to. Rune crafting,
very true. As
slow and boring as it is a like almost non-existent input moneymaker. It is like 99% pure profit.
Yeah,
to do rune crafting. The time cost of rune crafting is significantly more than something like Revenants, right? But it is, you do not spend a dime on rune crafting, Yeah,
because essence is 1 GP each. You're not going to notice that.
Like you should, I think passively without ever purchasing it, I have like a 500 to 700K essence in my bank. Just like that's over bonkers. The years of like I mined it for a little bit when I first got membership and like, oh my God, yeah, I'm a member now. I can mine pure essence.
Oh my
like gosh. 5 years ago, 6 years ago. But I didn't mine more than like 1,000 because I ain't got the attention span for that. So you should have enough pure essence, that it's
on my
basically
Iron Man
free.
I have like over 100,000. I think I'm nearing 200,000 essence on my Iron Man.
Yeah.
And that's from Zulrah, from Soul Wars. So chances are, if you look in your bank, you have enough essence to get you started. Because he didn't use 24,000 essence. That's with the rune crafting outfit and the double. So you think he may use like 10,000, maybe less. So it's definitely it's a non-factor when it comes to the cost of the essence in the rune crafting method. I think that's all the skilling ones. I want to look at our list real quick, but I think that's
all
of
the skilling ones we had. Yeah, I think rune crafting is going to cap off the skilling method. There is one here that Michael is kind of an expert in, though, that isn't quite skilling or PVM. And he's an expert both in the memes and in the receipts.
Oh my gosh. Are you talking about flipping?
I am talking about flipping, yes.
So I have to take this one. Okay.
Take it away, baby.
There are several plugins. There are several websites. I'm not going to be giving you the ins and outs of flipping. But at its very core, you find something that you can buy for cheaper than you can sell it. And it's free money. You can start out with 1 GP on your account and you can flip on the GE and get all the way up to max cash. Given enough time and enough sheer willpower, you could turn 1 GP into 2.1 billion or whatever it is, 2.47 billion. There are, like I said, there's a lot of different websites. There's a lot of different not apps. There's a lot of different plugins that'll help you track everything that you flipped and all your profit. But basically what you want to do is you want to find the thing that is going to net you the most profit, and you're going to milk it for all that it's worth until it's not making you profit anymore. I made a couple $100 million over the course of maybe a month or two, flipping Virtus sets when they had just released. That's generally what you're going to do. Is you're going to find something that has like a newer item or a really hot item that's being used a lot, and you're going to want to try and buy it for low and then sell it for more, plus whatever, factoring in the GE tax. Now, if this was pre-tax, like before they instituted the tax, flipping was a lot easier. But now you're going to have a harder time because you have to factor in that 5%. And there was a couple times where I didn't factor in the 5%. I'm like, yeah, I'm making profit. And then I looked and I lost money. So definitely, take that into consideration. But flipping, there's people who have like flipping alts. Like they have accounts that are dedicated to just standing at the GE, making them money passively. Because sometimes these are things that you need to wait several hours for.
This is a slow one, that's for sure. This is a slow one.
It's definitely slow, but it's free money if you know how to do it. We have a GE Flips channel in our Discord. So if you're really wanting to learn, join the Discord. We'll talk about that later. As far as how to join, it's in the description. But look for the GE Flips. It's not very active, but if you have questions, we have some people in our Discord who do flip and who do make money, and they can obviously help you get started. There's also a subreddit, which the subreddit, if you've browsed it, I would say from my experience, it's like 95% just nonsense. And there's about 5% in there that's going to help you out. Because a lot of times it's just like cowhides to the moon, and it's a bait post. And this guy has like 100,000 cowhides and he's wanting to dump them, and he's looking for people to buy them. So watch out for those types of scams. But if you can find something on the GE Flip subreddit, it might help you get started with your flipping journey. But Oxie said that because notoriously, I tried to flip Armadillo crossbows whenever Next came out, and I lost a lot of money. I don't remember how much I lost, but it was enough that it has stuck around, and I cannot escape that event for the life of me.
And you never will, mate. You never will. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules around here.
It's fine. I've made that money back probably several times over, so we're good. We're good.
Well, we are coming to the end of our list. We have a couple here, and we're going to end on Slayer. We haven't really talked about it. I know you can get Revan.
You guys knew it was on this list.
Yeah, surely it was. I mean, it doesn't necessarily revolve around higher level Slayer, but for the first one that I'm going to shout out is got to be Brutal Black Dragons. Brutal Black Dragons require, I think, 77 Slayer. They require 77 Slayer to kill. That's Brutal Blue Dragon. I don't want Brutal Blue Dragon. I want Brutal Black Dragon. Oh, let me scroll. I mean, Brutal Blue Dragons are also probably fine to kill. But Brutal Black Dragons, each kill is worth about
77.
25k. Yeah, it does take 77 Slayer. So you're making about, I don't know, 8 to 9k just from their bones and hides. That's what you want to collect. They have a relatively common drop chance of alchable items. Some of them are worth something. Some of them aren't worth shit. You have the 1 in 128 for dragon pieces, which is good. Runes are pretty decent. The materials you don't really alch, but will stack up. Dragon darts, runite ore, dragon javelin heads, like things that will stack up over time. They don't have many to any bad drops. They have rune javelins, which is kind of a troll. They have rune darts, which is kind of a troll. Rune knives, rune thrown axes. Just because they like stack up, right? And they kind of get in the way. But everything else, if you go down there with alchables, can be alched immediately. You can negate all damage with a Brutal Black Dragon, I'm fairly certain, by praying magic and using a extended anti-fire pot. I don't think it needs to be a super anti-fire pot either. I believe Brutal Black Dragons have a couple different kinds. Yeah, they use melee, magic, and long distance dragon fire. So if you protect from magic and use an anti-fire potion, you'll be completely protected as you don't stand next to them. So obviously there's going to be some overhead in prayer pots. Obviously there's going to be some overhead in ammunition costs, unless you're using a Bofa. You know, this is the one thing I don't really tell you. You don't need an anti-dragon shield. If you're praying mage and drinking an anti-fire pot, you don't need an anti-dragon shield. If you have a DHCB, you're going to shred through these things. But if you bring a Bofa down there, right, there's no ammo cost. There's no overhead, especially if it's already corrupted. It's no damage. It's just prayer pots. And they're right by a bank. So they're in the northwest corner of the catacombs, which is right by the Lovacaine bank. You just run up the stairs, bank your shit, and go right back down and kill them. I don't have the exact money per hour. Let me see. Money making. I should have just kept this page open the entire time. Brutal. I know Brutal Black Dragons. Brutal arrows, killing brutal reds, killing brutal greens. Killing Brutal Black Dragons is about $1 million an hour.
Damn.
So the higher your range level, the better. And it does take 77 Slayer to get in. They're fairly low intensity to kill. Because again, it's 0 damage. Just don't stand next to them. And if you take a shot every now and then because one aggroes you and punches you in the face after you kill another one, right? Their max hit is not going to one bang you. The only thing that will truly put you at any risk is totally unprotected Dragonfire. Because that shit will eat you alive. Dragonfire will hit you for like a 60 or 70. But if you protect from mage, you cut that in half. So you can't even get one banged by it. You drink that extended anti-fire potion for 12 minutes, right? That's 12 minutes of anti-fire protection. These things are damn good money. These dragons are actually what kind of inspired this list, and we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. So 77 Slayer Brutal Black Dragons are absolutely the play. Get on. And you can take melee too. You'll take more damage if you have a lance, but you could bring like if you're killing Brutal Black Dragons for money when you have Torva, cool. But you can bring Bandos down here. You can bring Justy down here, right? I imagine in the same vein, Rune Dragons are probably half decent money. So if we want to
mention that, actually.
Yeah, if you get in the same vein of Brutals, I mean, Rune Dragons take a little bit more. Killing Rune Dragons is about 1.4 mil an hour, and it takes a little bit more effort to pay attention to. Because I believe Rune Dragons have like a range attack and like an Onyx Bolt spec attack too. So you will take damage, but
they're not as AFK.
They are not as AFK. No, they are absolutely not as AFK.
Some of these methods, actually, I've wondered why we didn't mention it in the beginning. Some of these methods you could make like an alt account just to do this on the side.
Yeah,
with Brutal Blacks. That's an easy alt account angle. Rune Dragons. There's plenty of people who have Rune Dragon alts that just passively make them income as they're playing their main account or their iron or whatever it is. You can have these types of accounts just sitting there. Like a GE Flips account, that's an easy side account that you can play like 10 minutes a day and make money on it. So just think about that. This isn't something where you need to spend 100% of your focus doing it. If you can make $1 million an hour killing brutal black dragons on the side, that's $1 million an hour that you didn't have. If you were just doing your AFK whatever grind on the side, So think about that when it comes to a lot of these methods, because 77 Slayer is not that hard to get. 80 Slayer is also not that hard to get, and anything past 80 is going to pretty much make you money. So we said non-boss money making, and basically the only requirement for this list is, does it have a high scores? Yes, then it's not on the list. Any Slayer monster that you get past level 80 that's not a boss, pretty much going to make you money. I'm going to read off a list here. Starting at 80, you get neck reels. Even starting before neck reels, technically 65.
I don't know who suggested neck reels, because neck reels are like the last decently profitable per time task that you get. That's not a boss task. Because if you look like above, right, like Dark Beasts are dog shit money, Krakens are dog shit money, Abyssal Demons without a whip are dog shit money, Drakes are dog shit to kill, Hydras are dog shit to kill. Smoke Devils, it's good Slayer XP, but I don't actually pick up anything when I do Smoke Devils, so I have no reference for how much money it is, right? I would argue to whoever brought this up, you start making ducats at 62 and you kind of stop with non-boss at 80, right? 62 to 80, because at 62 you get worms. Michael, you can hammer it out from there, baby. What tasks do we get from 62?
All right, we got worms at 62, dust devils at 65, wyverns at 72. Kurasks, I would say Kurasks are pretty consistent
biased,
money
man.
if you pick up the drops.
I can't stand Kurask tasks, so I'm a little biased, but I know people do make money doing it.
You can make money at Kurask. Like, they have consistent drops, and what's neat is a lot of them are noted. Almost all of them are noted, and if they're not noted, you can just alch them. And they drop straight GP as well. So what I do when I'm doing Slayer is, if I know this boss is going to drop me just hard earned, like hard gold on the ground, I'll take a Ring of Wealth and it'll automatically pick it up. Because sometimes, most of the time when you're doing Slayer, having a nice like Berserker ring or whatever, it's not the end of the world if you're not wearing a Berserker ring. So for the AFK-ness of it, bring a Ring of Wealth and let it automatically pick it up for you. Because if you see a 2K drop on the ground, your brain is not going to go, oh, I need to spend, the time and energy to go pick that up. But if your ring is automatically doing it, and if you get 2K per, and say your task is 170 of them, you've just made like 300 or 400K by just wearing a ring. So gargoyles are another one that just drops like cold hard money. And
gargoyles shit out GP per task. Literally and figuratively, gargoyles will shit out 10K stacks of GP regularly, and then oh my god, dude! Even as a max combat main account, gargoyles are still a pretty good money task.
Gargoyles are good, and the alchables from there are amazing. So gargoyles at 75, brutal blacks at 77, necreals at 80.
Necreals shit out rune items. So when you do a burst task like Dust Devils or Necreals or something like that, it's okay to bank. It's really okay to bank. It's please bank. And in the vein of Slayer tasks that make a half decent amount of money without a boss, y'all, wilderness jellies, holy shit. Wilderness jellies make a good chunk of change on task. OSRS jellies, man, there are so many things I should have pre-searched before. Wilderness Slayer cave drops, they drop rune full helms. The XP is so good there, and you get maybe
Wilderness Slayer in general.
It's Wilderness Dust Devils, not jellies. I forgot, dude. Jellies ain't it. It's the Dust Devils that drop good shit in the wilderness. The wilderness variants of the Dust Devils are where it is at. I'm sorry, I had Slayer XP on the brain. But Dust Devils, Dust Devils, no wilderness. It's
Here's the
good
thing.
shit.
So, kind of like a sub point to like Slayer being a good moneymaker. Whenever you're doing Wilderness Slayer specifically from Cristelia and you're doing Slayer with Konar, both of those Slayer masters are going to give you the chance to receive a special key. So with Konar, you're going to get Brimstone keys, and with Cristelia, you're going to get Laran's keys. Now you can get Laran's keys doing Slayer. Those keys translate to like straight GP. I think per key, Brimstone keys are about 100K on average. So if you have 100 keys, it's money.
This is one that's also going to take you time to stock up. You can buy Laran's keys for 110K a piece, but particularly the Brimstone keys, if you save a couple of these, like you go, a couple of Slayer levels, right? You could save up your money and just pop these all at one time. The average key loot is like 84K for Laran's keys,
Yep. And you could probably get, you get lucky, you get a piece of Dagon High. I don't know how much those are going for, but it's in the wilderness. So obviously it's part of that, risk and reward type thing. If you have a bunch of Laran's keys, how do you say that word? Is it Laran?
I say Laren.
Laren, okay. If you have a bunch of Laran's keys, you could get PK'd for them. So if you're not into the whole risk and reward thing, just stick to Konar. Now, the caveat with Konar is sometimes her tasks are absolute shit. Like she's going to tell you to go kill the worst monster in the worst place, and there's a good chance you're just going to skip it.
She hits you with that Bloodveld in the Slayer Tower, you just delete your account right there.
Bloodveld's in the Bloodveld's in the God Wars dungeon.
Oh god, those
just
are
get out of here,
crusty, dude. Oh my god, those are so bad.
There's a lot of places you kill Bloodvelds. If she tells you to kill them in the Mire Ditch Laboratory, you're like, thank you, Konar. Today is a good day. But that's a sub point to the Slayer. Is if you're wanting to get a little bit extra money out of your tasks, go and do Konar, go and do Cristelia, and get yourself the keys. It was kind of busted, just as a back in my day thing again. Whenever Brimstone keys first came out, they weren't actually keys. When that system with Konar came out, it would just drop straight items. And I think for like the first couple of hours, it was dropping like 2 mil worth of brews or 2 million GP worth of herbs. And they patched it so quickly. And then they introduced the key system, and it's been rebalanced, and like now it's about 100K. But it was absolutely busted when it first came out, because there were people who had like an extra 10 mil per task just because of all the Konar drops. Pretty crazy. But if you can stand Konar, do it. I know that a lot of people have said that they love Wilderness Slayer. Because like, yes, it's risky, but there's a lot of times where you literally just take the 3 items, your Slayer helm, your weapon, and whatever necklace or ring you want, and you go into the Slayer caves and you're good, and you're never going to see a PKer. And it's pretty good XP per hour as well if you're wanting to get Slayer done. So that's the 2. Is that the only 2 Slayer ones that we have?
I think we kind of combined 3 of them together. Like we talked Brutal Black Dragons because the way we had our list formatted was like 80 plus Slayer monsters, like level 80 plus. And the reality is like level 80 plus is when you start making good money at bosses. Level 80 plus is when you get Cerberus that gets really good money. Level 80 plus you get Thermi, which like is okay for money. But you crack off again between Cerberus and the king of Slayer bosses, Alchemical Hydra, and what will soon be fucking Araxor, dude. Did you read that blog?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that boss is gonna shit out GP. Especially
and that's
for the first
it's
week.
92, I
93.
think.
92? Is it 92?
92. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 92.
Oh god, we're gonna be eating that week. Stock up your Slayer points if you have 92 Slayer. Because that's gonna be a fun couple of weeks with the Araxor. Oh my god, dude, an amulet better than the torture? Oh my god, Araxor is gonna shit out GP. Hydra might finally have a competition in Slayer bosses, as it were.
Nice.
But I think, yeah, because Cerberus is 4 mil an hour, Hydra's 4.5 mil an hour. So Hydra barely beats out Cerb right now. But we're not here talking about bosses. We're here talking about Slayer. We're also kind of here at the end of our list. Are there things on this list that we didn't mention? Yes, absolutely there are. The best non-boss moneymaker in the game is actually killing demonic gorillas. Followed up immediately by pickpocketing Vyres, right? There's a link on Old School Wiki, the money-making guide. Look this up. We'll link it in the description down below. And a lot of the things we talked about are on there, but like Wilderness Agility Course, on the wiki, it says it's 2.7 mil an hour. I don't know if I believe that for a second, but it's worth looking into, right? Because some of these things don't require a lot of intensity. They don't require, they're not raids. They're not the most effective or efficient thing per hour. You don't have to have a bunch of good gear to make this kind of money, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and you can make an alt to do it.
You can make an alt if you really want to. Apparently, crafting Wrath runes is 2 mil an hour at 95 rune crafting. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. But you know, I'm not one to disparage the wiki very often. We're gonna link that down below because that'll have all the money makers we missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are just ones we thought of off the top of our head.
Yeah, they're truly, it's not like
guys.
the best money makers. It's like kind of our favorites, you know, like the ones we would do if we needed to make a little bit of money that weren't bossing. This is what we would do, you know?
Nice. All the links will be down in the description. I think we're going to have the farming ones, the farming herb calculator down there. I might throw what Mudkips video in the description, and then obviously this wiki money making list will be there as well. But that's going to do it for this part of the episode. Stick around after this overly used commercial break video for the community section. We'll see you guys after this.
Why, hello there, adventurer. My name's Razalo, and I've traveled all over this here continent, collecting treasures that I think you.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important safety announcement. Attention. This is a message from the Gillinor Protection Agency. Do not fall asleep. A supernatural anomaly has escaped from its containment site in eastern Mauritania. It is incredibly hostile and will strike if given the opportunity. It has been known to attack its victims through the dreams, causing intense and violent sleepwalking that often results in the victim's death. Do not fall asleep. Over 1,200 individuals have been reported missing since the breach, and that number is estimated to increase exponentially over the coming days. Sleepwalkers have been reported in Canifis and in the northern coast of Mauritania, heading towards Port Phasimatis. If you are within the immediate vicinity of the breach, please seek shelter and await further instructions. Do not fall asleep. The Gillinor Protection Agency thanks you for your cooperation. Do not fall asleep. You will now be returned to your regularly scheduled broadcast.
So why don't you come on down and see for yourself? I promise you won't be disappointed.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know that I sure did. It is the part of the show now where we're going to take a second to thank our patrons who support us with their money every month. There are no new Wise Old Man patrons for this week. So on the screen now is all of our current Wise Old Man patrons. Thank you so much. If you're part of the Wise Old Man tier, you are amazing. In this tier, you have access to the recording booth. This is the tier where you get access to a recording booth, I should say. And that is a pretty awesome perk, I would say. A lot of our right now, we have 7, including me and Oxie, so 5 patrons hanging out with us. The most we've had, I think, is like in the 20s. People just hanging out when we have a guest. That's generally when we get the biggest turnout. So if you are looking to listen to the episode as we record it, Wise Old Man patron or the Wise Old Man tier might be the tier for you. So thank you so much to everybody in the Wise Old Man tier. You guys are awesome. Next, we want to shout out our KBD patrons. Now, if you're part of the KBD tier, you also get access to recording booth, but you get all of your names, but you get your name shouted out individually every single time because these people are the goats of the patron, and not in a bad way, but the greatest of all times. So like to give a shout out to everyone in the KBD here, starting out with Apathy, Boston Sport 5, Brooks 70, Chaos Cleric. Again, just Chaos Cleric. Nothing fun, nothing interesting, just Chaos Cleric. Love you, Chaos Cleric. Oxie's dad, my dad, all of our dad, my dad, Cloud Kicker, Corpse Fiance, Damon S, Dickie Bird. Tiki's calling me out. He just said, God damn. Dickie Bird, Elite Oreo Dunker, Oxie Still My Boo 666.
Hell yeah.
Our third favorite Patreon supporter, Ralph, Run Metal 15, Soggy Waffles, Seppi J, Sparky Life, Swole's Half Price, Lasagna, and Lobotomies. Yum. The Big G Jordy, the Crayola Tallymorn, and our newest KBD patron, Warbatoning. Thank you so much. If you are in the KBD tier, we love you so much. Muchos muchos to all of you. If you guys want to join any of these tiers, you can do so by heading over to our Patreon. The link will be in the description, but it's patreon.com/Xpwaste. If you want to join, we have tiers starting at $1, goes all the way to $25. There's different perks at each tier, so figure out which one you'd like. If you're part of the Party Pete tier, don't get shouted out as much, but that's where you get access to our monthly Patreon stream, and you have access to the whole kind of like backlog of streams and extra episodes that we've done over the years. So $5 a month, you get an extra episode and you get an entire backlog of episodes. If you've caught up on every single Xpwaste episode and you want like another 20 or 30 things to listen to, go ahead and join the Patreon. You get access to all of it. Patreon.com/Xpwaste. Now we're going to get into this here beefy and juicy community question.
Dead ass. So get yourself a snack, a drink. Make sure you're sitting somewhere comfortable.
Yeah.
We asked a fucking heater of a question last week, and everybody
wasn't
came
even
through to
here.
respond. It was great.
I wasn't even here for it, so this will be great. Last week, Bird and Oxie asked you guys if you could make any change to a mini game in old school RuneScape, what would it be? Now, Oxie, I'm going to ask you, what spurred this question? Is there a backstory? Because I have not listened to the episode.
Very briefly in a blog, they mentioned that there is a quality of life bowl coming out focused around mini games such as Wintertod and Guardians of the Rift. And Bird and I touched on that very briefly.
Nice.
I suggested that Varlamore fire a warhead at Zaya, and it goes all the way north and just completely fucking obliterates the Wintertod. But I don't know. We'll see how that one goes.
Well, if that happens, then you just can't do anything on your Iron Man. Because like the bet will just, if I get a blowpipe, it'll just be stagnant. And you can't get 99 fire making via, well, I guess the bet was to get 99 fire making. It's not to get it at Wintertod. So disregard that. We're going to read your responses. I'm going to specifically, starting out with D4 Drake. He says, add stealing creation to old school RuneScape. Revamp Barbarian Assault to make it like a literal raid. New endgame boat for pest control that has a boss at the end with new rewards, and perhaps more void weapons. Damn.
Could be good.
Send all of it. Like, we don't need to read any more of these because D4 Drake just did all of them. Iron Robin says HMBA. So hard mode, Barbarian Assault. Can you imagine hard mode, Barbarian Assault? What would that even be like? Like more points and the enemies are just like, you just get wrecked.
I mean, the enemies probably have multiple attack styles. Overhead prayers still don't work, right? There's probably a third kind of attacker. Defenders probably explode on death. Healers now venom you. You poison them, but they venom you if they get too close to you. Healers no longer wander around either. They actually make it their life's work to like either heat seek attacking NPCs so they can heal them a lot, or if all the attacking NPCs are dead, they heat seek you so they can you up with some venom. Picking up the wrong egg does AoE damage. The hopper, I don't know, either holds less eggs or fires them slower or something like that.
You can't cheese the queen, so you actually have to get however many eggs it takes to. Because right now you can get like 1 or 2 eggs and just cheese it and kill the queen that way. But
they take that mechanic away, surely it becomes a little bit more difficult. I mean, Wave 10 obviously would have to change as well. Like the queen would have to have like a melee mechanic where you guys are constantly having to like, because there's just shit for the end all the way around the room. If you had to essentially kite the queen around, you know, where like on Wave 10, the gun is now like on the wall or on the ground, so you can't use that island to safe spot the queen in, because she'll chase you like Verzik around the room and melee you. That would be a scary encounter for hard mode BA.
So, because like you're relying on the healer to get all of your heals, right? But if the healer's not quick enough, you're just dead. You'd probably need like 2 or 3 healers for the end.
It can only be
like
2.
A reset. Oh, you can only. Oh, right, because you need 4. There's 5 rolls. Okay, damn. Hard mode BA would be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. Moving on, Tohi says, make Tears of Gothics only give runecrafting XP regardless of your other stats. I mean, with the new runecrafting updates that they've had in the game, I don't know. Like, there's got to be a better stat to be dumping your Tears of Gothics into. Surely.
Agility and mining.
Right. I think agility. Yeah, it's got to be agility or mining. Runecrafting is just like, it's not that bad. Early runecrafting has changed, and I don't think people give it enough credit. Kurt says, if you guys organize a trouble brewing event, I'd participate. There's a few in here talking about trouble brewing. Did you guys also discuss trouble brewing?
We did, yeah. We discussed a trouble brewing mass that we never got around to. What did I do on Friday? Oh, we streamed on Friday. That's why we should have streamed the trouble brewing mass. That's better public content though than private Patreon content. So you guys kind of lucked out. Maybe next time Michael goes live, you can egg him on enough and we can all do trouble brewing together.
Do you get anything good from trouble brewing other than like the marks of 8 or whatever?
It is theoretically the best cooking XP per hour.
Really?
Theoretically. Bird and I were working through the scrapey bark method, where depositing scrapey bark gives a set amount of cooking XP, and scrapey bark is also tradable. So what you could do, depending on how scrapey bark spawns, is you could get 100 players on each team harvesting scrapey bark, and then you could trade it to one player who has 40 cooking, because it's the lowest level you can get in. And you could, in theory, depending on, because we don't know trouble brewing well enough, you could theoretically pump this player full of like millions of XP in a 20-minute span if you get enough scrapey bark. It could not work. There could be a player cap. Scrapey bark could respawn every like 5 minutes and only one person gets it. Like, it's a public resource.
Yeah.
But depending on, because I haven't done the minigame enough to know even what scrapey bark trees look like. So, but it's possible.
It's like when Hannah tried to get 99 fishing from a trouble brewing, or like a fishing trawler exploit, and they patched it the next week. It's like, if we do this, they're going to patch something, surely. I guess if we
we'll go down in history, baby. We'll go down in history.
They'll put another wiki link in. They'll put another link to our show in the wiki. It would be great.
Oh, yeah.
Cram says, long-time listener, first-time caller, but they should make it so the attackers can do damage to runners, even if minimal. Nothing more annoying than waiting on the runners to be killed.
Facts.
If you're not familiar, that is a Barbarian Assault upgrade. Fizzman15 says, Rogue's Den. I'd change it so you can take pieces of the Rogue's outfit and things you get from the Rogue's kit in. It's so frustrating to need to bank after each successful run. It is kind of like weird and outdated that you can't take anything in there. Like, I can't imagine, other than like staminas and maybe food, what could be so game breaking that you can't take a single item in there. It just seems outdated. But he's right. If you could take the Rogue's outfit in there, you wouldn't need to bank, which would be, for the short while that you do it, Rogue's Den, where you get the Rogue's outfit, the thing that you've never gotten on your account.
I have Rogue's outfit on my account.
I think you were at one point like, I don't need it. I'm never going to do it. But then what you did it for some reason. I can't remember why.
To prove a point, probably.
Oh,
because I have it. I've had it for a while.
Nice.
I don't remember why I got it, because there is really no point in me having it. But
there is no point. Danicus says, hello, Danicus here, aka Oxie's justifiably overworn Duke shirt. No change, to be honest, but would love to see some stealing creation. That shit was pog. Loved the episode, ooh woo, OMG, daddy, ooh woo woo, XXX.
He did that specifically for you.
For me or for you?
For you.
Oh, nice. Nice. Next up, Punkus says, I'd like to add a free therapy session after each game of Wintertod. So when you go back in for another KC, you have the mental capacity and you don't feel like breaking your monitor. As a therapist, how do you feel about that quality of life change, Oxie?
It's a really expensive way for a grown man to sit across from you and go, have you tried just getting over it? You don't have 99 fire making yet. That'll be $90. It'll be a really inefficient way to spend your money because it's like 400 games to get 99. So if you want to, as long as you're in the state of Michigan, we can make it happen. But I don't know.
Next up, Humble Owl says, Castle Wars. Maybe they should allow you to get combat XP or some GP for winning, or get some crates they do like Soul Wars. If Jagex hosted a Castle Wars event, they could make it super popular. I like the crates idea. I think that like simply giving you cosmetics that only collection log hunters these days really care about, it kind of like just made the whole minigame as a whole, or it made the minigame as a whole kind of just dead, which is unfortunate. I think at some point we just have to let Castle Wars go. If Jagex is not going to do anything about it, we need to just let it retire as the OG thing that we all did as a kid, and just remember it in its former glory, and stop trying to make Castle Wars a thing, because it's just going to make me sad. Next up, Seymour says, nearby convention hall is 58,000 square feet. 3 feet deep will be 174,000 cubic feet. 55-gallon drums are 7.35 cubic feet. So it'll take about 23,670 drums to fill the space. Oh, and I would take anglers away from the trawler. Is that the lube thing?
Now that's a man right there. Full stop. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Now that's the best response of the week right there.
Oh
man,
gosh.
did
Seymour.
the math. That's beautiful.
Good on you, Seymour. Good on you. Mockcat says, although it doesn't have a minigame icon, it's listed as a minigame on the wiki. I want Kingdom to be useful in some ways to UIM. Right now, Throne of Miscellanea is about as useful as RNJ Quest, a small QOL. Romeo and Juliet, listen, Romeo and Juliet gives you 5 quest points. It's one of the most quest points that you can get from a quest of its size. So it has some use, okay? Just a little bit. Next up, Dinosaur says, as someone who has finally finished the rune crafting outfit yesterday, I would make GOTR scale in a way that it's more possible to do a solo. 3 to 5 man is fun, but it's hard to get teams going and the mass worlds suck. I don't think they intended it to be a soloable, like a solo, like kind of how like Theater of Blood was never meant to be soloed, so they just made it ridiculously ridiculous. Maybe that's what they did with GOTR. They're like, we don't want people to solo it, so we'll just make it kind of stupid if you were to solo it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Next up, Mima says, make forestry events more common and revert the requirement of being in the area when one spawns. Add a waiting room for GOTR that puts you in the game when it ends, and add shields for the start of the game. I like that. I don't know. I haven't done enough forestry to really be up in arms about it, but I know that there's a lot of collection loggers that are kind of forced to do mediocre content to get the slots done, and the stuff is not really that useful.
It
so
is not.
I kind of empathize with them in that sense. But the waiting room for Guardians would be kind of huge. And then the shields at the beginning of the game, I think the shields at the beginning of the game should just give you XP, like more XP, like incentivize people to not go and mine the little fragments, and everybody should be putting shields up. So it helps. Jacob says, uncap the supply crate rolls from Wintertodt, so there's a reason to get more than 13,500 points.
I don't think you physically can get more than 13,500 points. Can you?
That's what he's saying. He's saying uncap it so that you can get more than 13,500. Yeah, I guess. It takes a while to get to 13,000. So like, why would you? I guess, I don't know, unlimited supply crate points, so you just never leave. Buddy Time says, add more floors to the sepulcher. Floor 6 being one entire floor of one singular trap, similar to floor 5's final trap, and floor 7 that makes you alternate tick flick to help you learn movement while flicking.
Who said that?
This is Buddy Time.
Okay.
I have no idea. I mean, hard mode sepulcher, I guess.
I ain't doing no hard mode sepulcher. I've done my hard mode sepulcher, and I'm cursed with a 6 minute and 3 second PB like the absolute shitter that I am. So,
and finally on Spotify, Vespolar says, I would make Trouble Brewing a best in slot upgrade to get people to play it. And make it locked behind X amount of rum made so no one is AFK. It's my favorite minigame of all time. I mean, I think we know who we need to get on board to organize our Trouble Brewing Mass.
Oh, you went a totally different direction with that. I was like, speaking of someone who needs therapy after a minigame.
That's going to do it for our Spotify replies. Moving on to our YouTube replies. I asked you the same question. If you could make any changes to a minigame in RuneScape, what would it be? Gunner says, Trouble Brewing. Make it a race. Winner gets a good chance of extra points. After X amount of completed brews, the game ends, so you get through the game faster. Maybe 2 to 3 minutes with a good team. People will learn the content. And with the added XP, they can have an XP drop at the end scaled based on your contribution. Of course, give the reward shop something useful.
You know what Trouble Brewing needs? In the same vein of racing, it needs a fucking MMR. Could you imagine Trouble Brewing? You're like, diamond tier in Trouble Brewing. That's your big flex. Like, yeah, Fire Cape, but like diamond tier Trouble Brewing. That's pretty impressive, dog. Think about that for a sec.
That would be cool. That would be neat. Spencer says, I don't like this question, so I'm going to answer my own. Should Oxie max in England? Yes. You should go to England and max there, even though RuneFest is canceled.
Well, I hate to break it to you, brother.
Sorry, Spencer.
It is not on the table right now, unfortunately.
Oh. Yeah, if you listen to the first part of the episode, Spencer, you're going to be very disappointed. So, sorry about that. Gamer Grant says, I know it's technically a boss, but I think the best minigame change would be in Wintertodt. It would be huge improvement if they were to take away the entrance. So just don't go in there.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Can't get into the Wintertide anymore. Swole says best minigame change would be for Guardians of the Rift. If you complete the game without the irons failing their tasks, Gothic Rest will release an episode as a reward. Also, Spari, hurry up and finish moving. It's been 4 months. Sad face emoji.
Don't
Poor
call
guy.
my boy out like that. Come on now. Don't do that
On
to
the
my boy.
Xpwaste podcast. On the Xpwaste podcast. Oxie's hyper sweaty chair says fishing trawler. Unsure how I would change it, but it needs to be better XP and or better rewards. Also, Oxie, I'm a fan of technicalities. So if I recall correctly, you originally wanted to max at RuneFest, not by RuneFest. So technically, you have another 6 months to a year to max at RuneFest. So congratulations, you get to max at RuneFest.
You know, people have said that to me. They're like, dude, Oxie's got a 6-month extension on the maxing grind. I don't think I want to wait 6 months. I think that's the issue. It's like, I would love to max in England with the fellas. That would be so cool. It'd be such an awesome experience. Michael did that. I'd love to have a similar experience, right? At the same time, I don't want to just like sit there with my dick in my hand with like 97 rune crafting and just like wait.
Just
You
milk
know?
it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, right? If I'm going for a maxscape, I just want to get the maxscape, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of
feel
where
you.
I'm at. So like you are right on the technicality that I do have an extra 6 months to say I want to max at RuneFest. But I don't think I want to wait that long. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I'm like
I
in
feel
it, you know?
Yeah. There was more to this. I just didn't read it. So it says, congratulations, you get to max at RuneFest and be a bitch. Birds, facts, words, not mine, at the same time. And be a bitch at the same time.
The second thing was going to happen no matter what. So, you know?
I think you should just max when you feel like it. And whether it's at RuneFest, whether it's at a meetup, I don't know.
Don't remind me. Oh.
Moving on. RuneGaz says make LMS games faster to reach 1,000 capes. Make 1,000 win cape faster. Also, we need LMS and free to play. If I could recall correctly, there is LMS and free to play. You just can't get points for it. So I don't know.
I think they may have removed free to play LMS,
Oh, really?
or they removed
Interesting.
their award shop from it. One of the two.
Okay. Ross says, I would change Barbarian Assault. It should let you use Barbarian gear, some preset gear, instead of having you need your own gear. I get levels and stats coming through, but the wiki spells out basically you need full void to play the game. Why not let us select a loadout, a Barbarian Assault base, for your Barbarian Assault role? Oh, why not let us select a loadout for Barbarian Assault based on your role? I mean, to that point, like they should make the Barbarian Assault gear that you get more useful in the minigame. And maybe it is, and I'm just ignorant to that fact. But like you can buy things like the Penance helm or whatever. There's a skirt, a top, a helm. All of that stuff should be useful in the game, in the actual minigame. Who knows? And finally, on our community question on YouTube, Rhoda says, my big change I'd like to make would be towards Castle Wars. I loved it as a kid, and if they updated it somehow, I'd probably go back. But my input would be to not having to use my own supplies. Give us LMS type loadouts. That's smart, actually. I think that could definitely revolutionize the actual game, because at the end of the day, it's a PvP mini game, and people play LMS 1 because you don't use your own supplies. Everyone's on an even playing field, and you get rewards from an actual reward shop for LMS. So
Ranked hear me out. Ranked Castle Wars. You can only there's a global leaderboard for ranked Castle Wars. Best win-loss ratio, best KD ratio, and then there's highest bracket tiers, right? Going all the way up from like bronze through, I don't know, dragon. Like, that's pretty simple. Like, who is in the dragon rank of Castle Wars, right? Put this so you only increase these stats when you're on one of a few select ranked Castle Wars worlds, right? And then broadcast that shit on a thing, like a public thing that says who has the best KD ratio in Castle Wars. And then what's my personal KD ratio? What's my personal win-loss ratio? What's my personal rank? You put that shit in there, and then you tie, almost like Coliseum Glory, you tie a couple of rewards to ranks.
Cheering.
Sheesh. People are going to play the shit out of Castle Wars.
Yeah. I lied, actually. There's one more. I had to refresh my browser window here, but Soggy Waffles says, besides making it easier to join a game in Mass Worlds, Guardians of the Rift should have one buyable unlock that unlocks a third runecrafting altar option every rotation. Just adds a little spice and gives you better odds of getting better XP. I like it. I like it a lot.
Actually. Yeah,
because only having two choices, kind of stinky. I mean, you can, like, in some senses, you have those like talismans that you get, but that doesn't always shake out. So that'd be kind of cool. That's going to do it for the community question. Thank you so much to everyone who did answer last week's question. If you want to answer this week's question, it'll be, what is your go-to non-boss moneymaker that we didn't have on our list? I know that there's a list on the wiki. Maybe you have one that's not on the wiki. It's like more obscure and you've been doing it for a while. And hey, you know what? Actually, you might want to keep that one to yourself. If it's obscure and you're making money from it, maybe don't tell us. So whatever. Tell us your favorite.
Tell us. What do you mean? Tell us, coward. Of course, tell us. What? Lord knows Michael and I aren't going to do it.
Tiki in the recording booth said trimming armor. That's
Someone's gonna some smart ass is gonna roll into the community question and be like, yeah, my favorite way to make money is like selling hard mode top kits. And it's gonna be like, okay, jackass. Like, I don't know. That's not what we meant.
That's a boss. That's a boss. So your favorite non-boss, if it has a high score, we're not gonna read it. So don't even waste your time. You can answer that on the community question section on Spotify or the pinned comment on this YouTube video. Hopefully, given all of that time, Oxie is done with the achievement of the week and he is ready. But I'm going to throw it over to Oxie now for achievement of the week.
I do have achievement of the week done this week. I actually had to text Michael because today has been shambolic, dude. This whole weekend has been like, I didn't know what the plan was, and then the plan kept changing, which was fine. It was a really good time. I just like, when the plans change, my perception of time gets like wildly skewed. So we started recording at about 1:40. I walked in at like 1:26 to my apartment after being gone for Saturday and Sunday. So I had to text Michael to have him start it. But we're here. We've got it done. We have it completed here. We are ready. You know what I'm saying?
We're ready.
We are ready.
You ready, SpongeBob?
Is that
I don't
the
know.
phrase?
I don't know.
Michael doesn't watch SpongeBob.
I don't watch SpongeBob.
Michael wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid.
Facts.
I didn't actually know that, but I just assumed. It turns out I was right.
It wasn't because of my mom being like, you know, super Christian and sheltering me as a child. She just didn't like SpongeBob. She was annoyed by it. So if my mom didn't want to have to listen to it, we weren't watching it. And I feel that as a parent. Like, I empathize and I can get behind that sentiment. I'm done watching Boss Baby for the rest of my life, but my kid likes it, so I'll endure it.
R.I.P. Boss Baby. Well, Boss Baby's decided it's time for Achievement of the Week because we actually did it this week. Michael helped me. I don't know why, dude. Achievement of the Week has been in shambles, but we're here. We're back. Holy shit. Do we have a lot of achievements? We're going to kick things off with combat. No, we're going to kick things off with skilling, then combat, then miscellaneous. Why not? Skilling is the thickest category, as it almost always is in these Achievement of the Weeks here. So, kicking us off in the skilling category, we have Synergy achieving 99 mining. The Taco Daddy achieved 99 hunter. Elven Reaver achieved 99 Slayer. Cuddle Team achieved 99 Prayer. Darkstar 65 achieved 99 hit points. Smiley Prophet achieved 99 Range and 99 Mage. Indoor Kite achieved 99 Hunter. Gay Raccoon achieved 99 Construction. Skillaxon achieved 99 Smithing, Thieving, and Farming this past week. Tanto Tricks achieved 99 Slayer. Sorry, I lost my place in the thing. 99 Slayer. Lots of 99s on this list, as you guys can imagine. Epic Epoch achieved 99 Crafting and 99 Fletching. Steel Beams achieved 99 Mining. Bussy Baron, because apparently he was getting snippy with me in the CC, saying I call it Bussy Baron, not Bussy Baron. What you know about the Bussy? Let me tell you. If you know anything, my DMs are open. Just saying. Bussy Baron achieved 99 attack, strength, and defense. I have Michael's face covered by this app right now, so I have no idea what face he made there. Infamous Boy achieved 99 farming. Antics achieved 99 herblore and 2200 total level. Danish Deity achieved 99 fishing and also 2200 total level. Habitat achieved 99 mining and is this close to a max cape. It's probably going to have by the time this episode comes out, TBH. Slack Mason achieved 99 defense. Gibson LePaul cracked off the big three in this week with 99 rune crafting, agility, and mining. I always mess that up because like it's spelled Gibson LePaul. It's Gibson Les Paul, the guitar. There's just not enough characters to put the S in there.
Yeah.
Or maybe maybe it is lay with the S and I just can't pronounce it right. I don't know. I don't play guitar, but I know
It's Les Paul.
Oh yeah.
100% Les Paul.
I was gonna say I know that's what his name is actually supposed to be. So don't worry, Gibson. I'm not purposely screwing that up. Iron Robin achieved 99 cooking and also 2200 total level. Raru achieved 99 farming and 99 crafting. Eighth Try achieved 99 mining, 99 crafting, and 99 fire making. Fizzman 15 achieved 99 hit points. My boy Zeno achieved 99 mage. I Poop Liquids achieved 99 fire making, mining, and 2200 total level. Walt Kidney coming in with his first ever 99 with 99 farming. Raymer achieved 99 prayer. And Indoor Kite, again, I knew I saw the name and messed it somewhere. You heard him earlier with 99 hunter. He also got 99 thieving. We do have some total level achievements as well. Flagrant Beef achieved 2k total level. And Wheat Toast 03 achieved 2200 total level. But that's not all. Because in these last 2 weeks, we've seen not one, not two, but 3 max capes from distinguished members of our Xpwaste community, as it were. Cracking off the big 3 in these last 2 weeks and finally achieving his max cape, my bingo teammate Russ of Fury achieved 2277 total level at a party that I was barely not able to make. The first thing I saw when I logged in on my phone was that he got his max cape. Jake, after years of asking, Max when, Jake? When do you get a max, Jake? He finally did it. The crazy son of a bitch, he finally did it. 99 woodcutting in Lumbridge. I was there. I was at that party. I think also on mobile, funny enough. And then recently, just like sort of quietly in the shadows of Lumbridge, right, doing whatever he felt like, another Jake got a 2277 total max cape by cracking off 999s. Yeah, the Australian 99, the Australian Jake Songer, currently known as, I don't know. Him, he's been around for a while. Another Jake, another one, got a max cape this week. So congratulations to the 3 of you guys. You're living my dream, and I applaud you for that. You have your max cape. It's cool as hell. In the combat achievements section of Achievement of the Week here, achieving their first fire cape this week, we have A1 Steak Sauce, Ohanto, Shifty Sniper, and KC Cheesh 2533. Someone else got it on a super low level Iron Man too. I forgot to write their name down. It's like Armor or something. Let me scroll up and find it because it's not that far away. Oh, this is gonna really piss me off now. Somebody got it like 2 days ago.
Was it Fire Cape?
Yeah, on like a 30
Dean.
defense Iron Man. No, Astro got it on a 30 defense, 70 range Iron Man.
Ooh.
Bam. In addition to that, we do have some more first. Heidi and Shifty Sniper in the killing category here killed their first Gauntlet. And Soggy Waffles, Chef Boy Red, and Broke 70 all killed the Corrupted Gauntlet for the first time. These boys out here increasing their bingo draft stock left and right. As far as combat achievements are concerned, I know we have 2. I was there when Wispy got the easy combat achievements done, though I don't think he posted it. And Voltoro completed the hard combat achievements this week. As far as kits are concerned, both Zepsky and Main Sequence and Cuddle Team with his second appearance this week on Achievement of the Week, all achieved their Missouri kit this week, which Michael misspelled as Missouri with an E, not an A. SMH, bro. Point and laugh at this guy.
Missouri.
Missouri kit.
I copied and pasted it from somebody's message of them saying that they got it. So
great guns. He's passing the blame off, man. Anyways, that's not all the kits we have this week because Ryukason pulled it out, man. He got the Menophyte kit and the Cursed Phalanx. And I think the Zebek Remnant too, but that's almost a guarantee when you're going for your Phalanx, right? So huge for the Fancy Fang. Ending the combat achievement section here, we have 2 big capes. The first of these capes being Prof Slayer, who achieved his quiver. That tracks. I don't know why I don't know if he got it and forgot to post it or what it was. Prof Slayer is an absolute gamer. So when he posted that he got a quiver months after release, I'm like, oh, he's a gamer, right? So
yeah,
you got the quiver to support that fact now too. And making his second appearance this week on Achievement of the Week, in addition to his Max Cape, another Jake has also achieved his Infernal Cape. Congratulations, you can now truly play the game without the stress of the Inferno. In the miscellaneous category, we got some weird ones this week, which is fun. Corpse Fiance achieved their Quest Cape. So that's the Quest Cape done. Quest Cape done, signed, sealed, delivered, out of the way. Both Smiley Prophet and Miyamo Poppy also got their Achievement Diary Capes this week. So 2 Diary Capes coming in for us, right? Dakota is I got 2 capes, the Music Cape and the Champions Cape. Dakota is I joins the esteemed few here on the Xpwaste podcast, gets shouted out for a Champions Cape on this show. With other members being, I think Doc has his Champions Cape, Mima, Furry Wall. I want to say, does Gibson have his Champions Cape? Somebody else does. I know who I don't think has a Max Cape. Got it, just for fun. But congratulations, Dakota. You are in the few, the proud. And then finally, rounding out Achievement of the Week for these past 2 weeks here, Reclinatus, Satanbot 666, and Xeno all got married to each other. I didn't know they knew each other like that, but they all got married to each other. And I'm proud of them for that because they're now all together, bonded in a throuple union together. If they had, fiancés, as they call them, they're no longer in the picture, right? Because now the 3 of them are married. And if you see photos of them with somebody else in a wedding dress, ignore it because they're married to each other. Reclinatus, Satan, and Xeno. So proud of you guys. Please don't get divorced or this Discord's going to get real messy if the 3 of you split up. So stay together forever. Do it for us.
What's so funny about you even mentioning this is the only way that it ends up on the show is if they post something about them getting married in levels and achievements. It's not like you just off the
no, I don't ever check
remembered
IRL stuff for this. I don't check IRL stuff. I don't do anything like that. I know Satan did it because he DM'd me. He's like, listen, I did think about inviting you and Michael, but I thought it might be weird to A, have you be invited to some internet stranger's wedding, and B, have 2 random internet strangers at my wedding. I was like, you know what, dude, that's that you thought of us, man. That's all that matters. So big proud of the boys for all getting married. That's going to wrap up Achievement of the Week. If you achieved something awesome and you want to tell us about it, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL. As Michael mentioned, that will be down below in the description of this episode. Come hang out. We have objectively the best RuneScape Discord in the world. As I will always, I will scroll down and say that there are 8 people in general chat right now hanging out. It's a Sunday evening. These episodes take so long to record these days. I don't know why, but we are chugging through these episodes. And people are still here hanging, and they'll be hanging forever, right? Regardless of what time zone you live in, regardless of what your work schedule looks like, there will always be someone to hang here in TNL. It's a very rare day when the VCs are empty, you know? We are absolutely the best Discord for old school RuneScape in the world, and that's been confirmed by multiple sources. So, you know, when the queen tells you on her way out, like, by the way, you guys have the best RuneScape Discord in the world, that's good, man. That's real good, you know? But with Achievement of the Week coming to a close, playing catch up from the last 2 weeks, it does mean that this episode has almost been time to end. Words? That did not make sense, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's fun question time. So, Michael, my friend, do you have a fun question for us this week?
I do, indeed. This one comes from our Instagram, actually.
A fun question from Instagram.
Sheesh. So, about 2 weeks ago, Lucio on Instagram DM'd us, and he said, "Fun question. Which holiday rewards are your favorite? Some awesome new Pride Fashionscape to get the ideas flowing." I'll start us out. This one is a throwback. I remember in RuneScape 2, one of the Easter events. It was around the time when they first, like one of the first times that they released a holiday event that had an untradeable reward. Because for some reason, you know, having rewards that only happen one time and are tradable was kind of detrimental for the economy, because now those are just like mega rares that unintentionally. Anyway, they made all of the in RuneScape 2, they made all of the holiday rewards untradeable. And I remember getting the rubber chicken as a kid, and I would go around Varrock absolutely terrorizing people in the Grand Exchange, just whacking them with the rubber chicken. I can't remember if it has a sound effect. I'm pretty sure it does. And so if you had game sounds turned on, you were like sitting there fletching or doing whatever in the bank standing, and you just hear whoosh,
I kind of hear it. It's like,
and that's me.
But it's like squeaky, like, you know?
Do I have a rubber chicken in my bank? I don't have it in my bank.
Yeah.
So naturally, in old school RuneScape, whenever I got the rubber chicken, it became one of my favorites. Another one is, this will probably be one that Oxie talks about, but the cursed banana is also a really good one.
Cursed banana is a damn good emote, dude. I got the emotes tab open. It's a damn good item. Cursed banana is funny as hell.
Yeah. Cursed banana is fun. I really like the skis. I think if I had a top 3, it'd be the rubber chicken, the cursed banana, and the skis. So during the Christmas event, I think it was like 3 years ago, you basically got skis that you can ride around.
I thought
any terrain.
Is it the Christmas event or the Easter event?
For the skis?
Or was it the birthday event?
No, it was the Christmas event. Sure.
I gotta look this up. I don't think it was the Christmas event, because I've done this was the last Christmas event this year that I didn't do. Osrs skis.
Do you not have the skis?
I don't have the skis because they were a part of the 2022 birthday event.
They were a birthday event?
I knew they were a birthday event because I didn't do that birthday event.
Random.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, well, birthday event, I guess. You'd think, like, I feel like I'm validated in thinking that would be a Christmas event thing. But anyway, the birthday event gave us skis, and they're arguably one of the best. In the top 3, I think they're my number 1. Rubber chickens for, like, you know, nostalgia. But the skis are good. You can do anything in the game on those skis. If you wanted to kill Olm in the final phase, you wouldn't be doing much damage because they take up your main hand slot. But technically, you could ride around all of Chambers of Xerix on skis, and nobody can say a word. So those are my top 3. What would be your favorite holiday item?
Favorite holiday item without question is kind of like how yours, like rubber chicken, was your first one you ever got after being like, oh my god, dude, party hats are like a mega rare. For me, it was the Reaper hood, the old Grim Reaper hood from like 2005, 2006, whenever that was.
Yeah.
That Grim Reaper hood was sick as fuck, dude. I love that Grim Reaper hood. It's not the whole outfit, right?
Just the hood.
It's just the hood, and it's so cool. I love that outfit. Back in the day, I remember, someone's gonna remember it, dude. The witch with the purple cart and shit like that. Those Halloween events were so fun. I loved those as a kid. And, you know, as such, one of my favorite new rewards I've gotten is the trick emote. The trick emote used to be my favorite one as a kid because it was just like, you just like threw bats and shit up, you know? Like, it's freaking bats, man. It's awesome.
Freaking bats. It's a good combo emote too. One.
Oh yeah, you can do it with other. You can like flex with bats going on too. That's it's super cool.
If you do trick and immediately press jog, you can like make it to where it looks like you're running and there's like a puff of smoke around your feet, and then it just throws bats up. Trick into jog is a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. Like stamping the bats out of the ground. Yeah, I do like that one. I'm quite a big fan of that one. I'm quite a big fan of the Pride Scarf. That Pride Scarf goes pretty hard. The Pride Scarf and the Poet's Jacket go insanely hard from the Pride event they did in 2023. I haven't done the one this year, and I actually have to do it. Holiday events this year have been the bane of my existence because now I don't have the music track for two of them, and as such, can't get the trimmed music cape, which pisses me off.
It's really dumb.
So
that's
annoying.
A thing. Yeah.
So I have to wait till Easter 24 to get it, which is stupid. But other holiday items that really stand out is like these are super, super, super cool. I'm thinking of like the events that I got them from, and I was like, oh yeah, these events are great. The last 2 years when they've had the trick or treating event in Varrock, those events were so much fun, and the rewards with like the different tiers of cosmetics also so much fun. And then fun. I think the last one probably has to go out to the Windtumber tree. I don't even remember when the Windtumber tree was. It was between 2019 and 2022, I think, the Windtumber tree. That bitch has like not moved in my POH in years. That has been a staple of my player-owned house. I have kept that in there for a while. And then I think I still have a parlor with the holiday ornament kit on it as well. So they've released some good ones. They've also released some real dumbass ones. Like what's that like giant like fruit cake you carry around, like that huge thing that like just gets in the way.
Yeah. There's also the shovel from the Easter event that you can't actually dig things up with.
I don't think I did that Easter event. I'm gonna live with you. I don't think I did it.
Maybe that's the one that you're missing.
The Easter egg 8 ball is pretty cool. Because it like tells you what boss to kill. That one's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I've like not done Easter events in years, I feel like. But the door, the Easter Din's Bulwark, that one's pretty fun. Yeah.
But the shovel, man, it pissed me off because like it's a spade and you can dig in the ground, but you can't use it for like clues or farming. It's really silly. They should have just made it like work as a spade. Same with the golden shovel. You can't use that as an actual shovel. It's really silly.
Whack.
Thank you, Lucio, for the fun question, bringing us back to our childhood. That's always what we want with these fun questions. At least I do. I like to bring it back to like, 15-year-old me playing this game, didn't know what I was doing. It's always fun. So thank you, Lucio, for the fun question. Folks, that's going to do it. You've made it to the end. This is the end of the episode as we know it. It's going to be a long one. Hope you enjoyed it. We had fun making this list. If you want to check out more Xpwaste content, check out the Patreon. Like I said earlier, if you subscribe at least at the Party Pete tier, you'll have a backlog of episodes to listen to. Check it out. We have a merch store for the next couple of days at least. You can get 15% off your entire order using the code PRIDE until like the end of day, June 30th, for the entire month of June. I'm getting word that you can use the spade as a spade. Thank you, Tiki. The Easter event, as well as the subsequent Easter events, it can be used in place of regular spade whilst digging for clues as part of a treasure trail. It cannot be used for any other activities requiring spade. Attempting to use it outside of treasure trails results in the game. This spade is only. So I guess you can use it for treasure trails, but not for other spadey activities. And during the break, I told Tiki that he needs to make his own podcast, just like fact checking us the whole time. It's going to be called Tiki's Talkback. So look for that in your podcast app of choice. Hopefully not coming soon. But you can find us in all of the places that you think you can. Instagram, TikTok, all that's going to be in the description. Follow us on Twitch. I may stream this week. I have to edit, but I may stream. That sounds like fun. So follow us on Twitch and check it out in the description. That's going to do it for the episode, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.